Mic check, mic check. Can y'all hear me? Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Mic check, mic check. We getting brothers logged in. Yes, sir. If you can hear me, put ones in the chat. We got a good one today. We got a good one today. If you can hear me, put ones in the chat. And then I had muted you too, since you're gonna use the mic to speak. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Con, I see a couple ones. You want to turn your yeah, you good. You want to turn
mic check.
Turn your computer down. There you go. Yeah. All praises. We got a good one today, y'all. Got a good beloved brother in here. A good beloved brother in here.
Shalom.
Con title of today, class, if you want to call it, or session, is Mexicans versus Blacks. Who are the real Jews? Mexicans versus Blacks. Lesson is inspired by all of you so-called Negro only Israelites. So we're gonna get into it. Let me get this frankincense together real quick. We gotta have it right in here. There we go. Mexicans versus Blacks. All praises. I see brothers and sisters is loading in. All praises. Okay. Sister Milka. We got some good information that's gonna come out today. Shalom. See some brothers from the 12 Stones coming in. All praises, all praises. So yeah, man, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it, man. We want to jump right into it. I got a beautiful guest today. It's my good brother, Yawaka Nan. Brother, go ahead and introduce yourself. All right?
Shalom, shalom, family. All praises, Kahalal, La Yahweh, Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. Right. I'm Yahweh Hanan Bonashar, the Asherite brother, man, from the 12 Stones, Yasha Allah. I'm the elder of the 12 Stones, Yasha Allah. We have a beautiful camp, man, well integrated camp with brothers from the northern and southern kingdom, Yasha Allah, man, all the way from LA to Vegas. We got brothers that we're building up in the UK. We got brothers up north. Can't forget up north, man, in the Bay. Some strong, beautiful brothers and sisters out there that way. Brothers in New York we're building up as well, and in other cities, man. So we're very happy and glad to be here with Ratazan, man. Me and Rata go back.
We go back, man. We go back. Let me
talk about it, Rata.
We go back. Me and this brother go back in my early days of the truth, man. So let me go ahead and just let you know how dear this brother is for me, and why I go so hard for my 10 tribe brothers, my so-called Mexicans, my so-called Latino brothers and sisters, which we're gonna get into some things today. I go hard in this because a so-called Mexican brother introduced me to the truth. The brother was one of the first brothers in my life that kind of introduced me to the truth. And long story short, I was in Christianity, and I was going hard in Christianity, and I thought that was the way to be. I thought that was the way to go. And I had some brothers that I was close to at the time, and was like, hey, we going to this secret Bible study, and I'm like, okay, I'm down with all of that. I want to be in all of the Bible studies. That's where I'm trying to be down with all of that. So long story short, it took me to the Bible study. I remember it was at your studio at the time, right?
That's right.
Con. It was at your studio at the time. I never forget. And then, when I met you, I was just blown away by all of the information that you was bringing out at the time about who were the children of Israel, and I never forget that in this studio, he had like I think I still, to this day, I still got your worksheet, or the notes that you gave me. Yeah, the worksheet. And so the brother broke it down, completely at that time, and I was blown away. That was the first time that I ever got sat down. Was that 2000?
It was 2010
or something like that.
Yeah, it was early. It was early in this, but he was young at the time.
I was like 17 or 18.
Yeah, 17, 18 years old, man. And but this brother's always been astute, man, and his eyes were just wide open when he heard this truth, man. It was just a matter of time, you know, a matter of time. And I'm so proud of this brother, as I am so many other brothers that I've met in this walk, man, to see what he's flourished to, right? To see the man he's become, and the leader he's become, man. And you know, we had the pleasure, when was it, during the riots that happened here
a minute ago.
with George Floyd, right? I remember when that kicked off. I think we were down in West LA, right?
Yeah, we went to West LA.
Yeah, West LA. And the brother called me. He says, and we had kind of lost track of each other from that incident that he was talking about, where I kind of gave him the truth. He from then on, I had lost track of him for a few years, and then next thing you know, I hear of him, and I'm like, so he really got in the truth, deep in the truth, man. And I'm like, he's got a camp. You were part of True Nation at one point.
I was a part of True Nation.
True
yes,
Nation,
I was part of True Nation.
right?
Yep.
And then he started his own thing, BOW. And so when the riots happened, he had given me a call. He says, man, we're gonna go out there and support the brother and go out there and preach the word.
I think that was with Sakari.
With
our brother Sakari.
Right.
We did a
Sakari
unity
Deacon
camp.
Was out there. Yep. So we mobbed out there, our camp, his camp. And that day I was like, hey, I'm just coming to support, you know, because we're a nation, right? It's not about camps in that situation. We're a nation. So we go out there, man, and I see my young brother there.
Yeah.
And we still got the video of us. He was teaching. I think it's on your channel.
Yeah, I put it up. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're standing behind him. And when I look back at that, it was just a proud moment, man, because I'm like, look at this young brother, man, on fire, going in, putting his life on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like we're supposed to, man, for this truth. And he's doing it, man. Yeah, can you get the door from Salaki King?
Wow. Yeah. And you know what? That's such a blessing, because like I said, you know, when and do me a favor, Yaquat, do me a favor. When you open the gate, just lock it back for me. Yeah, go ahead. And you know, the beautiful thing about this is that I am a big proponent of my Mexican, Puerto Rican, all my 10 tribe brothers and sisters. I am a strong component of my 10 tribe brothers and sisters. I fight tooth and nail for my 10 tribe brothers and sisters, because a 10 tribe brother introduced me to the truth.
God.
A 10 tribe, or let me say it like this: a so-called Mexican brother.
Asherite. I'm actually Ecuadorian.
Oh, okay, Ecuadorian. I'm sorry,
Ecuadorian. But see,
you know what I mean.
I'm not even tripping, because you know what? Calling me a Mexican is a good thing.
Well, you know, the ignorant black people gonna call you that.
Right,
that's what they gonna call you.
Right, exactly.
A Latino brother, I should put it like that, to get it more politically correct, was the first brother to introduce me to this thing. God. And so for brothers to sit here and try to denounce that the spirit of the Most High is not working with our Latino brothers and sisters, you are definitely a fool. And we're gonna go through some things, talk about some things, maybe get into some. I'm gonna let you kind of take off, but we're gonna kind of land me back off each other. Talk about some curses. Do the curses fit the Mexicans and Latinos and the Ecuadorians? You can feel free to come in. You good? Do the curses fit my so-called Latino brothers and sisters, my Ecuadorian brothers and sisters, my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters? We're gonna talk about a little bit of that. Talk a little bit about archaeology. I know we got tons of that, you know, dealing with archaeology and proving that the so-called Latino brothers and sisters are indeed the true nation of Israel. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I don't know who that is. Somebody outside. Thank you for the sugar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, we got some coffee, so we're gonna be here burning the midnight oil, as they say. So we want to do that. And like I said, I'm a big proponent of my Latino brothers and sisters, because like I said, it was a Latino brother sitting before you that was the first one to kind of introduce it to me, you know, before I just took off with it and ran with it. So without further ado, I want to ask you a question. Real quick, how is it, you know, being of the Latino persuasion in the truth, and seeing, you know, some of the let's just get into it. It's kind of like a little interview too. You're gonna get in some scripture, but it's kind of like a little interview. How do you feel, or how is it being quote unquote a Latino in the truth, and you see so much division dealing with our Latino and Black brothers and sisters in the truth?
I mean, it's I'm sure some of you can attest to the fact that it's terrible, man. It's deplorable, right? Because when you understand, right, that most of us, before we came into this truth, we were in the streets, right, doing Lord knows what, right, doing things to the max, to the fullest for the world, right? You see that in the world, man, depending on what side of the tracks you came from, and there was some sort of division, right? And what divided us typically was things like money, right? Even what side of the street you lived on, right? And these things, unfortunately, are deep rooted from the Bible, right? But when we were in the world, we didn't know, right? We didn't know that we're the chosen people of the Most High. We didn't know that we're in the Bible, none of that. But we all had similar things that we had to deal with, right? Starting with religions, right? We were either Catholics or Christians, right? One or the other. Some were Muslims, right? Which, interestingly enough, on a side note, just to remember, the biggest religion that so-called Hispanics and Latinos are joining right now, leaving the Catholic and Christian church for, is Islam. Did you know that?
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's the
It makes
biggest
sense.
religion that Hispanics and Latinos are joining once they
Oh wait,
feel
I'm sorry, I misheard you. You said
Islam.
that Latino and Hispanics are joining. Oh, I
Yes.
didn't know that. No,
Yeah,
I did not know
they're
that.
leaving what we call our thing with the 12 stones, we call Catholics crackalics, right? And we call Christianity crackianity, right? Because it's a drug. It's a drug, and there's no rehab for it but the truth, right? The truth will set you free, man, from that drug, right? But the point is shalom, my Ram. Shalom to everybody out there, man, in the chat. BOW, shalom, family. 12 stones in the building. Shalom. You already know the deal, man. And
Yes, sir.
anybody else that's in between, man, shalom to
Shalom.
all of you brothers and sisters out there, man. Hallelujah. But anyway, so yeah, man. So anyway, so it's either one of those three major false religions that our people caught up into, right? And then from there, you see that if it's drugs, we're either selling them to each other or robbing each other from them. That was going on in the streets heavy. Now, the one thing that I saw that would bind so-called Hispanics and Latinos and blacks together in the streets, though, the one area it seemed like we could get with each other on was music and drugs
Music and drugs.
and sex.
Yeah.
Right? Those
Yeah.
three things seem to bind our people together, right? But even then, me being in jail as often as I went to jail, right? One thing I would see that in the prison system, the politics of prison, man,
Especially in Cali.
yeah, especially in
Especially in
Cali, you
Cali.
can't get down with each other, right? You can't share certain things. You can't talk to brothers. You can't even take a shower with the blacks if you're sureños, norteños, where everything is divided, right? But outside of that, right? Outside of that, when you're in the hood, our people would sell weed to each other, buy coke from each other, right? And we would go into each other's, neighborhoods and get, the finest Latino woman you could get, the finest sister you could get. Like my princess, my rib is a Judite. Beautiful Judite sister, man. Been together going for about 16 years now. You know what I'm saying? Been with her for a minute. Got 3 beautiful children with her. And so we would deal with each other's women. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing. But as soon as you go to prison, it's back to the division.
Back
now.
to the division.
Back to the division.
Let me do this too.
Go ahead, King.
Not to stop you. I want to
No,
make
go ahead,
sure
go ahead.
that I put so I'm gonna add you to this stream real quick because I want to make sure that I put let me see something. I want to make sure. Hold on one second. I want to make sure that I put where your camp. Okay.
Khan, yeah, hallelujah.
Let me go back to All right, now do a test. Do a test.
Okay, could y'all hear me, everybody? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all could hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all could hear me.
Yeah, I think they got you. Spell your name too for me.
It's you want to put the camp name?
I put 12 Stone, but I want your name.
Oh yeah, YAWACH.
Hold on 1 second. YAWACHAN.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Con.
All right, we back in it. We back.
Okay, Con, so they can hear me now. All praises.
Con. All right, and then I'll remove this, and now we back on it. Okay, Con. All right, everybody good. I just want to make sure I put your name and your camp organization out there.
There we go. Yeah, so Yaquab, maybe you could put it in the chat. Yaquab, one of our young phenoms that teaches with us, man, Southern Kingdom Jake. He's gonna go ahead and put our camp page in the chat so y'all could give us a follow if you would, you know what I'm saying? But we do classes pretty much damn near 5 days a week, man, online. We go and hit the streets as well, you know what I'm saying? And we got Mighty Brothers, Elder Rawaban out in Vegas that's been rocking with me for years. He actually has been doing some classes recently online here on our main channel in Spanish, man. So there's no excuse. If you're so-called Hispanic, Latino, I don't give a damn if you're from
you know what?
Paraguay.
And a brother asked me that too. A brother asked me a question like, matter of fact, man, a brother just asked me that on Instagram. He asked me, where can I get some classes in Spanish?
We got you.
So now I need to link. Don't worry. Before we leave tonight, I'm gonna link him with you.
Yeah.
So he can make sure he
got you.
And this is what building is about. This brother, this is what tongues is about. Right?
That's it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta reach our 10 tribe brothers and sisters.
Right.
And there's so many different of our 10 tribe brothers and sisters that even watch our channel.
That's right.
That is like, man, Rotterdam, it's kind of hard because I barely see, even though we brothers, but I barely see my people, waking up. And I'm like, man, they out there. I got you. Don't even trip. I got a brother that's a powerful 10.
Yeah.
Taught was one of the brothers that teach me in the beginning.
God.
So if you think Rotterdam is you like the way I teach and everything, all praises, because this brother showed me first. He was the first brother to ever sit me down and say, hey, look, this is what it is. And I'll never forget that. You know what I'm saying? So Khan, go ahead, King. I don't want to stop your
and so, I mean, beautiful. And that being said, one of the things that I humbly asked this brother, because I seen the Most High Yahweh give him an increase, right? Like the Most High said he would, right? That he would pour out his spirit upon us, right? Pour out his spirit. We would start prophesying, man, to see where this brother's at and where he's going. The Lord ain't done with this brother yet. And the rest of BOW and the 12 Stones and a bunch of other camps that are preaching this truth and sincerity and humility, right? The Lord ain't done with us, man. But it's a beautiful thing, because when I talked to him recently, he was like, hey, and it's a few times where he always will give me flowers, right? And I said, brother, do me a favor humbly. And this is how this class came together. I said, can you do me a favor, brother? I said, I need you to pay it forward to the Northern Kingdom for a second. I said, because we need your help. And you know what? I'm not going to, say that other camps wouldn't do it, but I can't give the credit to other camps because I'm not on the phone with them all the time for this reason. But this brother, when he reached out to me, and it's funny because I had told Aram that about a month ago, I had a dream with Aram. And I called him. Aram, I don't know if you remember, I literally called him. I said, bro, or he called me for another reason. I forgot what it was about. And I told him on the phone, I had a dream about you. He said, really? I said, and we were at a table and Bibles were around and there was some teaching going on and whatever. I said, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a good dream. And he says, wow, really? And then we get on the phone about a month later and then we talk about this. And I said, bro, do me a favor. Pay it forward and help these Northern Kingdom brothers in our camp that are teaching in Spanish. Help us build them up, because this is what Brotherhood is about. And you know what? Aram didn't trip. He wasn't like, nah, man, no, see, we got a bunch of followers. Y'all need to go and do your own thing. But I will say this, though, right? When you look at the scriptures and you look at the history of how the Northern and Southern Kingdom beefed and how we split, that's kind of what happened, though.
Yeah.
Jeroboam and Rehoboam, right? Rehoboam didn't want to help us. He wanted to put his foot on our neck, man. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that kind of started the beef between the so-called Hispanic, Latino, so-called Negro population, right? Which is a spillover, in the colors between both. Okay, because we don't teach that the Southern Kingdom is exclusively Negro.
No,
And I
I
don't
don't teach
teach
that
that
either.
the so-called Northern Kingdom is
Well,
exclusively
you know our stance. We don't even teach the chart.
right.
And no disrespect to brothers that do
Right,
teach the
right.
chart. We don't teach the chart because there's no way to actually determine who your seed is and who your fathers is. The
Right.
Most High is gonna have to come back and reintroduce that. So who
Right.
knows? I
Right.
mean, who knows who could be Judah, who could be Issachar? I could be Ephraim.
Right.
We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Look, we just did a class about 2 weeks ago, right?
Mhm.
Where we broke down, we were talking about Esau, right? And because people get confused, like Esau is exclusively white. And I'm like, I've met so-called Edomites, what we would think through the teaching that an Edomite is, that is darker than my brother standing right here.
Tia and Tamara's a good
That's what I'm
example of
saying.
that.
We even brought them out of class.
Tia and
By the
Tamara's a good
time it was all said and done, people in our class were like, yo, I'm scared because I don't even know if I'm this tribe or
Right.
that tribe or not. I said, but the one
Right.
thing you do know is you got to keep these laws and commandments. And we
Go.
finished the class by saying Yahweh Shai is going to separate the wheat from the tares, the goats and the sheep. And on that day, you're going to find out who's who. And right
There you go. He's going to do it.
He's gonna do it,
He's
man.
gonna do
We
it.
don't like with our camp when we go out and teach. We have the 12 type chart there, but what we've done is we've pivoted within the last 6 months. We pivoted. We don't put the chart out there as the first topic of conversation. We what we put first is the faith in Christ, the faith in Yahweh Shai, and the statutes, laws, and commandments. Are you gonna do that? Because a brother, because we see you, I'm sure you see it. Brothers walk up and down the street. Oh, I know I'm from the tribe of Judah, and you're like, okay, brother, but
everybody from the tribe of Judah,
right? But are you keeping the laws and commandments?
right?
You know why you got a blunt on your earlobe? You know what I'm saying? Why you got two whores in your truck with you, man, and you're pimping them out of the Motel 6, brother?
Right.
But you know you're from the tribe of Judah. So that's great that you think you know who you are, but what are you doing about it?
There you go. What is it? Knowing is what? Half the battle.
That's it, man.
Knowing is half. That's that. What does that come from? With Snake Eyes. What's that cartoon?
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
Knowing is half the battle, man.
That's right.
So without further ado, this is what I want to do. I do want to get into some of this stuff. I know we got some history we want to get into. Somebody said earlier in the chat, they said it's easier to prove that Native Americans and Latinos are Israelites, but more than anybody. I would have to agree with that.
That's right.
There is so much information about the Northern Kingdom being, or not even, I'm even gonna say the Northern Kingdom, so-called Latino population being Israelites. There is so much historical evidence, so much things, and I want to basically be the bridge, and hopefully at the end of this, Most High willing, we can talk about kind of setting something up to where you revisit the channel and revisit the page, so we can continue to reach out and get the 10 tribe brothers and sisters. So the first question that I want to ask you is this. Kind of want to do it like a kind of interview setup. I want to ask you this question. Do the 10 tribes, which are the Latinos and Native Americans, do they fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28?
Absolutely.
Because that's the first thing that I want to. They don't fit the curses. They don't fit the curses. Do they fit the curses? And can we prove that?
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at, I'm sure most people that here are very familiar with Deuteronomy 28, especially going from verse 15 down to 68, right? And one of the things that we could easily see about that is the fact that one of the things that I use is that when you look at when the Northern Kingdom, the so-called natives, right, went into captivity, was actually before the Southern Kingdom went into it.
Absolutely. I have a book, and we're gonna get into it,
right?
But I also have a book that I'm gonna get into.
Bring it out.
That proves that. And guess what? This book is called The Birth of Black America. But we're gonna talk about our Mexican, Latino, Native American brothers and sisters, how they went into captivity under the white man first. We're gonna talk about that.
You see that? That's beautiful, man. And so we know that captivity also is why, because our captivity is synonymous with with sin, right? And if you notice, the law was given to the 12 tribes, right, to the nation of Yasha Allah, but the so-called Northern Kingdom went off first, man. We went off in idolatry. We walked away from the Most High God, right? We started to think we could do it on our own. So the Lord had to deal with us first, right? And we've been further away from the plan of the Most High God in terms of returning back to him, like the prodigal son, because the southern kingdom stayed with the Most High God. The southern kingdom held on to his garment better than we did, right? We're the ones that were lo ami, right?
Yeah.
We're the ones that the Most High said, you're not my people no more, right? And we didn't know this in Christianity and Catholicism. Why would they teach you the truth when their whole program is built off of lies, man? So Deuteronomy 28, the curses, the punishment for that fit us first because we got that belt on us first. You know what I'm saying? Because we went into captivity for that. We went off faster than our brothers, man. You know?
You did. So let's do this then.
Right.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 real quick.
Let's bring it out.
And let's pull some things out. Let's get into it. It's a lot, and we gonna for sure have to do a part 2. And let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 49. We can read that. I'll read it. You know, unless let me see. I think we got another mic. One of the brothers want to read? Okay, come here. I got. Let me see. Let me turn this on for you.
Well, let's bring it out.
Yes, sir. You know we got to. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Yes, sir. There we go. All right. Yeah. So give me Deuteronomy. You good up? So give me Deuteronomy 28 and read verse 48.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And read verse 49, because verse 49 tells you who's going to do it.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
There go that eagle right there. Now remember, the Most High does things parabolically, all right, in parables. So he said he's letting you know what nation symbol is an eagle. Well, we know all of the Caucasian. Ain't it funny? All of the Caucasian symbols is eagles.
Right.
From Greece to Rome to America, every single one is an eagle. So the Most High is letting you know it's going to be an eagle that's going to come against you, right? AKA the white man symbol. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Read verse 50.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
Read.
Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shoot favor to the young.
Now, the funny thing about it is we always read this and we always go to black people, which it does fit black people. Right. Absolutely. We go, oh, yeah, that was America. They taking us on the transatlantic slave trade and blase, blase. But this right here fits exclusively also with the Latino and Native American population.
That's a fact.
And one of the cold things about it is one can make an argument even more so because read verse 51.
Verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
What did they do when they got here? Buffalo. The buffalo took all of your cattle. That's right. Hunted them for sport.
That's right.
Right? Did he take did a nation from far whose tongue did they understand their tongue when Christopher Columbus and them came over here? Not at all. You had individuals like Squanto who had to be interpreters, which we're gonna talk about. Right. Also, it says that they should come and you shall serve them. Well, did the Native Americans and the Latinos serve the white man?
Absolutely.
They were the first slaves.
That's right.
So we got to prove that in history.
That's right.
Did you want to add something?
No, I was going to say real quick. One of the reasons why the so-called false fake European, right, started to go after the Southern Kingdom as well is because when they saw, right, and there's documentation that shows from their vantage point the difference between breaking a Native Indian and a so-called Negro slave, is that the so-called native slave was so heartbroken by him going into captivity that they almost committed suicide more often than the Negro.
Wow.
And so why that's crazy is because for the Native Indian, them enjoying Arsareth, right, that land for so long where it was just them, and then saying, what, I can't live under this oppression where I can't go freely where I want and hunt what I want and eat what I want when I need it, right? Them not being able to do that, they would get broken and they wouldn't submit the same way the Negro slave would. So they would say that the Negro slave would he was built differently physically. So he would take the punishment and keep working.
Keep on
Whereas the Native Indians were like, nah, I can't do this, man. And then they would die. So then that gave them
and
premise.
They knew the land too.
There you go. So that gave them the premise to say, we need different slaves. And they went after the Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negro slaves, because they knew that you were built differently. You could work those fields. The Native Indians are like, nah, man, just kill me. I'm done.
And you know, the funny thing about it is each tribe has their own strengths and weaknesses.
That's right.
And another thing too was the natives also knew the land.
Yep.
We're gonna read some sources from history to prove all of what we're saying. That's the natives knew the land, so it was also more difficult to keep them enslaved because they knew the land better. They also had their population decimated by smallpox and different diseases that their bodies was not adjusted to. So the Native Americans were literally wiped out to the point of like extinction almost.
That's right.
You understand? I want to read this source real quick and then we could get into that because we got to get into the sicknesses and diseases. Let me read a historical source right now. So mind you, this is coming from a book called The Birth of Black America. You so-called Negro onlys, which I don't know what the hell that is, but that's what you guys call yourself. Look at your own history. Talk about the native population, which is where our Latino population comes from. This is page 35 in a book called The Birth of Black America by Andrew Frank. So it says Columbus believed that he had also found another resource, one almost valuable as gold: free labor. The area's inhabitants, Columbus wrote in a long log of his first journey, were fit to be ordered about and made to work, to sow, and to and do all else that may be needed. At he also observed. All right. This is a quote. It says, this is his quote from his log: to rule here, one need only get settled and assert authority over the natives, who will carry out whatever they are ordered to do. I, with my crew, barely a handful of men, could conquer all these islands with no resistance whatsoever. The Indians always run away and have no arms, nor a warring spirit. They are naked and defenseless, hence ready to be given orders and put to work. Now, mind you, this is from his perspective, but the native, we know that they were warriors too. But what happened was when he came, the natives were so accepting of these people.
That's right.
Esau took their kindness for weakness.
That's right.
And this is what Christopher Columbus is saying about the natives at that time, because they were so kind, which they shouldn't have been. But watch this. It says, but the Native Americans had more warring spirit than Columbus thought. When he returned to Spain, he left a group of settlers on Hispaniola. When he made his second journey to the region, he found the settlers slaughtered. But Columbus never gave up the idea that the people of the New World should serve the Europeans. In the late 1490s, he sent 500 Caribbean natives as a gift to Ferdinand and Isabella, who informed him that he was to convert the Indians to Christianity, not to enslave them. He also instituted a program in Hispaniola whereby each Native American male over the age of 14 was required, on pain of death, to produce enough gold every 3 months to fill a small flask. That's right. We could go on. I'm not going to take too much time. I want to give it to my brother. But you see, the Native Americans were taken on slave ships.
That's right.
To Spain.
That's right.
As gifts. So did they go on slavery on slave ships? We'll get more on that. But I just want to get that little historical excerpt of and pair that with Deuteronomy 28, 48, all the way down to 50. I'll let you go ahead and get into whatever.
No, that's beautiful what he said. And again, that's why we know that those curses have fit our people, man. You know, because we went through that first. Why? Because Yahweh had to put that belt on us, man. You see what I'm saying? We rebelled against the Most High God. It's pride, arrogance, right, in us. And we went off, man, way the hell off. And now you see what happened to us, man. So that's one thing. Now, because we went off into it first and went into captivity, right? Deep into captivity and suffered for it, we assimilated with every nation that put us into captivity first. So that means we've been asleep longer.
You got that. Okay, that's such a point that we don't bring out often. We forget that you guys have been assimilated to many different cultures and people for thousands of years, or hundreds of years. Since what 700 BC?
Yep.
7th century BC?
Yep.
What, the Assyrians came up, because I know we went into Babylon in 6th century, right?
Right. Yep.
So you guys were there, went into captivity before us.
That's
under the Assyrians.
That's
so about 700,
that's right,
give or take, BC.
Yeah.
Being mixed and mingled.
Yep.
And scattered.
Think about
so you don't think the phenotype and the
has changed.
Excuse me, it's gonna change?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's why we don't judge off of that.
That's
because
right.
we know how mixed we've been.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
But go ahead.
Absolutely.
That was a good point.
No, and I was gonna bring something out too, man. Let me look it up real quick, man, to show you something. Give me Judges chapter 3, verse 14, just as a little example, right, of what my brother said right here in the assimilation, right? Because you have genotype, you have phenotype, right? The phenotype being that which you usually get from the mother, right? And phenotype is something that shows up on the outward appearance. So the texture of your hair, the color of your skin, color of your eyes, right? And as there was intermingling with other nations through captivity, just like today, right? You got Hispanics, Latinos, Negroes that are here in America today. You have the oppressor over you. Don't Negroes and Hispanics and Latinos, Native Indians sleep with so-called white women? Absolutely. And all kind of foreign women?
Absolutely.
And have children with them, right?
Absolutely.
You do that all the time, man. It's nothing new under the sun. So just how we're doing it today, brothers was doing it back then, right? But let's get that Judges 3 and 14 real quick.
This is Judges chapter 3, verse 14.
Read.
So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab.
The king of who?
Of Moab.
Of Moab, what?
18 years.
18 years. So who are the Moabites?
I'm gonna let you rock. You rock. So-called my so-called Chinese and
right. So why is that important? Because when you look, and this is talking about the northern kingdom, right, that served under the Moabites for 18 years. What do you think is happening during those 18 years, man? Intermingling. Now you might say, what does that have to do with Latinos today? Well, you see that a lot of Latinos have slanted eyes. Right? They have certain features, and this is why you have certain believers that say, oh, the northern kingdom, the native Indians are mongoloids.
Yep.
That's where they get it from. But we could prove through these scriptures that could very well be some intermingling going on, right? Absolutely. Because of that captivity, 18 years. Give me Judges 10 and 7 too. Beautiful. Right? So watch this, man. Because another thing that you see Negro only is say, nah, see these Hispanic and Latinos are really Canaanites. They're Africans. They'll say, I've had that shot thrown at me too.
Yeah. So we beefing with each other. Huh?
Right. Exactly. Right. So watch this, Judges 10 and 7.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 10, verse 7.
Read.
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
Hot against who?
Against Israel.
Read.
And he sold them into the hands of the Philistines.
The who?
The Philistines.
So who is the northern kingdom going to the hands of? Philistines. Who are the Philistines?
Yes, sir.
So what was going on over there? Probably some intermingling, man.
Yes, sir.
Read.
And into the hands of the children of Ammon.
And who is Ammon, man?
Moab.
There you go. So, so you don't think that we maybe picked up some of their phenotypes along the way?
Absolutely.
Okay, man. I know mad brothers, so-called Negroes that got Moabite wives, Ammonite wives, beautiful children. Because I just tell you something, man. Anytime we mix our seed with another nation, that nation ends up getting the blessing of our people on them.
Morally Simmons.
You feel me? I'm talking about fine women and men that come out of them, that production that we put together, man. And that's another way I like to say when it talks about Abraham and in thee all nations shall be blessed. Man, listen, any nation out there that's around us typically, they end up becoming more blessed because of us.
Yes.
Think about the music industry. I spent 20 plus years in the music industry, ghostwriting, producing, executive work, major people I worked with. And guess what? Them people created a whole industry off of our talent. Anything we do in the studio, no one could do it better than us. They've learned to do it from us. And it's a $1 billion industry. Okay, sports. That's another thing, right? Anytime these heathen nations get around us, remember the NBA, you know that basketball, here's some Northern Kingdom history. You know who was the first people on earth to play and create the game of basketball? The
Aztecs,
Mayans.
yep,
It was
the
actually
Mayans,
the
yeah.
Mayans.
Yeah,
The
they had
Mayans and
the side,
Aztecs.
they had the side hoop.
That's
Think you
right.
saw it? Yeah.
But in that game, I believe whoever won got murdered.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was the other way around. They
Yeah.
played to the death, okay? But that was a sport that they created, right? And then over the years, it turned to something else. But at one point, the NBA was all white folk, and it was boring as hell. Who was the first so-called Negro basketball player?
I don't know who the first
We
was.
should look that up, man.
Yeah,
Somebody
who's the
Google that and
first?
put that in the chat. Who was the
Who
first
was the first?
so-called
That's a good
Negro?
question.
Watch this. Did you know that Babe Ruth is actually a Negro?
Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth. Look
Babe
it up. Babe Ruth was a Negro.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, man. So there was actually presidents here in the United States that were really black.
Yeah, I heard that.
Right? We don't have conclusive proof of that, but Babe Ruth is a Negro, man.
I did not know that.
Yeah, when you really research the history on him, he was a Negro. But who was the first black basketball player?
His name is Earl Lloyd. He played for Washington, D.C., whatever team they had back then.
Wow. You see what I'm saying? But look, he has
Yeah,
African American
his
ancestry, right? We don't, and they say that his white mother slept with a Negro.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Yeah, it says
Okay,
his parents
so
were
Babe
less
Ruth
than
was a
faithful.
Negro. But look, you might say,
Yeah.
well, what does that matter? Babe Ruth was considered damn near the best baseball player in baseball, period.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
So
I didn't
wouldn't
know
that knock your socks off to know that he's a Jake?
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
He's a Jake. No wonder we excel. They get blessed when they're around us, man. They get blessed by our music, our food, our culture. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
We get curses when we're around them. But sometimes, because they love our men, right? These heathen women, when they get with us, guess what happens? Besides the blessing of being around us, they pick up the curses too, man.
Yeah, they mingle with our seed. Absolutely.
Right? So then all of a sudden, the grass ain't greener. She thought it was greener when she came and rocked with us, right? Till she found out that the grass is greener because it's fertilized with BS.
Yeah, that's true.
But go ahead, King.
I did not know that, Babe Ruth. That was new to me. I just learned something.
A Negro, man. How about this?
I didn't
Did
know
you
that.
know that the natives sold Manhattan for $26 to the white man?
I did not know that. I know-
$26, man. Look it up.
I know they sold Mexico. I know
Oh,
Mexico.
so $24.
$24?
$24 and 1626.
That's
$26, $24 to buy Manhattan, okay, and sold it to the so-called white man.
Let me see how much California was sold for.
Yeah, look that up.
Because I remember seeing that.
While they're telling you so-called Mexicans that you're an illegal alien, right?
Right.
When this what used to be called Aslan at one point, right?
Yeah. So the U.S. Paid Mexico $15 million for California.
But here's the thing. Somebody might say, well, they still got 15 million.
That's
no.
nothing.
No, but hold on.
Okay.
They might say, well, that they got 15 million. No, that's better than what some of the Negro slaves got. But see, the only reason they gave them the 15 million is because by that time, it would have looked horrible to the rest of the world if they would have said, because this is what they gave them: take this 15 million or else we're going to take it for free. So they had to take the 15 million.
Yeah. Or they was gonna take,
or else you was gonna lose your life. So
Right.
guess what? What would you do? Right? You sit and get beat up by the police, and they say, "Listen, man, you either take this $1 million out of court settlement and shut up, right?
Uh-huh.
Or we ain't gonna pay you nothing, and you're gonna get pulled over next week, and we're gonna take you out anyways."
Now this is important too, right?
Right.
To add to what you're saying. What year was California? And this goes into Deuteronomy 28, the
Right.
curses. What year was California sold All right. So it was founded. California was founded in September 9th, 1850.
Mm-hmm.
So September 9th, 1850 is when let me see. Yeah, okay, that's when it was founded. So around the 1850s, all right? 1840s, 1850s, right? If you do your research, is when American settlers, yeah,
Well,
Mexican authorities governed.
it was founded in 1850, but it was sold 1848, February 2nd, 1848.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that's why I said 1840s, 1850s, right? So now think about this. When was the gold rush? Well, let's look up that. Let's
look that
take
up.
our
There
time.
you go.
Yeah,
And while he's looking that up,
that's important.
The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo is what it was called. That was done February 2nd, 1848. Mexico ceded 55% of its territory, including the states above, in that time.
Now, check this out. For all of you ignorant Negroes that don't know my
Right.
Spanish history, you gotta learn your Spanish history.
That's
so
right.
you can see that they fit the curses. Absolutely.
That's
Somebody
right.
might say 15 million, that's a lot of money.
Right.
15 million is nothing compared to, check this out. The gold rush was January 24th, 1848.
Wait, when was it? January 24th.
January 24th, 1848.
Okay.
When was it sold? 2 years, about 2 years later.
Exactly.
So America tripled, doubled, quadrupled in money with the gold rush.
That's right.
So 15 million ain't nothing.
That's right. Who buys something with the intent of paying more when something is worth less?
Right.
Nobody does that. That's not how the white man does business. There's only two ways the white man does business. He either takes it and makes 100% of the profit, or he'll pay you less than what it's worth so that there's equity behind what he bought. So if he paid 15 mil for it, he knew it was well worth more than that. You see what I'm saying? And the only reason he did that is because he didn't want to look like a monster, like the monster he is. Just like today, they do out of court settlements, right? They do. They'll buy the case. So here, you want to just give this dude $5 million, all right? We killed his family, shot his child up, right? The whole world seen it. So to make us not look like we're as bad, here's $3 million, go shut up. And they're not tripping off that $3 million, Rata, because you know where that money's coming? Right back to them.
Right back now. And here's the cold part about that, right? So Mexico was forcefully had to sell California. So for all you people, the illegal immigrants, right? All that's bullshit. Excuse my language. This is Mexican territory. So it was forcefully taken, I should say.
Right.
And then not only that, they quadrupled in profit because they mined all the gold from this area. But who were the laborers?
Right.
So-called Mexicans.
That's what I'm saying.
So not only did they rob the land, they made you pick the gold from your own land.
Right.
And that goes into Deuteronomy. I gotta read this back to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, and let's read verse let me see.
We hit 50, right? Yeah, we
I
hit
think
49,
I think we hit 49, yeah. 38. I'm gonna read 38. Yeah, read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locusts shall consume it.
Read 39.
Verse 39. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine, nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them.
You see that? It says, so we're not going to take what we need, but that's not the one. Read verse 43. That's the one I want actually to read. Verse 43.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
It says the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. So the Native Americans, right, which is where the Latino population come from, the intermingling with the Spanish conquistadors and the Native Americans, the raping, I should say, where the so-called Mexican and Ecuadorian and Guatemalan population comes from, which those races don't even exist. They're just a mixed race of people. But these people got very high above them, stole the land, and then made them work on the land. Watch this, read.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Read verse 44.
Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Read.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Stole your land, made you sell it, stole it from you, and then made you do the labor to give him all profit. Ain't that something? Get above you. The Native Americans don't fit that. The Latinos don't fit that.
Right.
Come on, man. They fit that low. Man, look, somebody can make an argument, and they fit it, and it's so clear even more with them.
Right.
You know, even though we know it with us too, but still, you cannot deny the fact that our Mexican brothers and sisters fit these curses to the T.
To the T.
You understand?
And didn't Issachar and Judah have the same mama and daddy?
Yes, they did.
Right?
Yes,
now watch
did.
this. Another thing, right?
Go ahead. Yeah,
I've heard some people say, well, you know what, but the Latinos and Hispanics got their own countries, though. You got El Salvador, you got Guatemala, you got Colombia, you got Paraguay, you got, Peru, Ecuador, right? You got Puerto Rico, Guatemala, et cetera, et cetera. But no matter where you look at it, right? Let's give you an example. El Salvador. El Salvador has been in the news heavily lately, right? Why? Because the president of El Salvador, why don't you look up who the president of El Salvador is? What's his name? Right, and guess what? He's not a Salvadorian. I believe he's Persian or Arab. Yeah, he's an Arab, man. And why that's important? Because any of those countries you want to mention, well, they got their own countries. We're not even really represented well in those countries. They're still considered what? Third world countries, even despite having their own country. Because who's profiting over there is still the oppressor, man. Okay, he's the one that's got them living in shambles. Go to Brazil, right? Brazil, what's that place called? Brazil, the favelas. That makes Compton and Nickerson Gardens look like Disneyland. Over there, you get shot by a 5-year-old. Poisoned, strangled to death, kidnapped. It's the little kids doing it. It's so bad over there in the favelas in Brazil. Okay? You don't want to go over there. It's not a place to visit if you're going to be a tourist and hit the favela in Brazil. Okay, but back to El Salvador. What's the name of the guy again? Did you get it? Nayib what? Bukele. That dude instituted something that the world hasn't seen as far as prison systems, right? They got the MS-13 gang over there. Bruh, I've been in jail, and I've never seen inmates get treated the way them dudes is getting treated right now. They're over there right now. If you get locked up or you're MS-13 in El Salvador, they don't give you an attorney. There's no case. There's no going to court. You don't see an attorney. You're arrested and you're automatically incriminated, and they throw away the key. It is what it is. That's right now, right? I think they have, I don't know how many, let me look that up, how many thousands of inmates they got right now in El Salvador. Let me see. It's crazy, and that's going on right now. Here it is. Let me see. There's mad videos about it right now. 2,000 prisoners suspected of being MS-13 and 18th Street gangs arrive at a new mega prison in El Salvador. I go and watch it for yourself so you can see what's going on over there. If them brothers in El Salvador would beg to be in San Quentin prison here in America, they would beg to be locked up in Sing Sing, Pelican Bay, Chino, Wayside, Tehachapi, Delano. They would beg to be in there. That's like club fed to them. How bad it is in El Salvador, man. It's on a whole nother level. Understand that. And that's happening to our people right now, man. That's right. Susanna put it right there. Bukele he's not El Salvadorian. The richest Mexican in Mexico is not Mexican. Carlos Slim. He's an Arab. Okay, so it's still our people that have the oppressor on their neck, even in their own countries. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. It's not our people. We're just still enslaved over there.
Con.
You know
Mic
what I'm
check.
saying? Go ahead,
Con.
King.
Mic check. Can you guys hear me? I think you guys can. Mic check. Okay. All praises. I had to change. Another thing while I was listening to you, it's crazy because we go to resorts over in those areas, Mexico and things like that.
That's right.
That lets you know the resort is beautiful, but outside the resort, you're gonna see poverty, you're gonna see gang violence, you're gonna see all of that.
That's a fact.
All of that. The 10 tribes and the Native Americans, they fit these curses. The so-called Hispanics, they fit these curses to the T.
That's right.
To the T. It's no getting around it. It's no getting around it. I mean, historically, right? Let me read something too, unless you want to bring some
go
more
ahead,
thing
King.
out.
You got
Okay,
it. Go ahead.
so I wanted to read let me see. Let's get into some more history too. Okay, cool. So this is page 38. Let's get into some more history. This is page 38, and we just vibe. I love this. We vibing off each other right now.
That's right. Bring it out, King.
So this is page 38 in the book called The Birth of Black America. It says the labor provided by African slaves at this time was tiny compared to that provided by Native Americans. But Spanish colonists were already experiencing difficulties with Indian slaves. Indians generally knew the territory better than the Spanish overlords, making escape and rebellions much harder to prevent. In addition, Native Americans were extremely susceptible to smallpox and other diseases that were common in Europe and Africa, but had not previously existed in the Americas. So that goes into what you were actually talking about and alluding to, that there was certain sicknesses, diseases.
That's right.
We were fighting, we were trying to fight. Also, too, some of us didn't want to fight. We just rather take death, right? There was a lot of different scenarios that was happening to the Native population at that time.
That's right. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 60
yes, sir.
and 61, Baba Kasha.
Yep.
Right. So you can see, man. So you can understand that. And these diseases have still stuck to us, like the scripture says. Not just them diseases, because some of those diseases are not affecting us the way they did back then during this time. But there's new diseases we have, right?
Wait, and before that, hold that thought.
Go ahead.
Somebody said, I mean, you can't say MS-13 are innocent. No, we're not saying that none of us are innocent.
Yeah.
All of us deserve this.
Right.
The Crips and the Bloods are not innocent.
That's right.
For getting locked up in the county.
That's right.
We're not saying that our people are innocent. We're saying that they fit the curses.
That's right.
MS-13 fit the curses because they killing each other.
And the curses are given to us as a punishment for us committing sin.
That's the point. So that statement, right? And I know I'm not saying that brother said that statement in any facetiousness. I'm just saying that statement proves the further point. But go ahead about the diseases, because we was about to get into that.
Oh yeah, bring out that great point. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 60.
Start at 59, Salaki.
Salaki, verse 59. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful.
Actually, do me a favor. Start at 58, Salaki. Let's go to 58. Let's go from there.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law.
So that's the MS-13, Crips, Bloods, Norteños, Sureños, Latin Kings, GDs, Vice Lord disciples, because they're Israelites, They just don't know it. But read it again. Start it up again.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law.
No, some of the words.
All the words of this law.
Read.
That are written in this book.
In this book, read.
That thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God.
What's going to happen?
Verse 59. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful.
Wonderful. These plagues going to be wonderful. Full of wonder. Read.
And the plagues of thy seed.
The plagues of thy children, man. Read.
Even great plagues.
Great plagues. Read.
And of long continuance.
Long continuance. Not for a month. They're not seasonal. Okay, we're not talking about you have allergies. Pollen season arrive. Read.
And sore sicknesses.
Sore sickness. Read.
And of long continuance.
Of long continuance. Read.
Verse 60. Moreover,
read.
He will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
Of what?
Of Egypt.
And Egypt is synonymous with what?
Bondage.
Bondage. Captivity, man. See, in this bondage and this captivity, being held captive against your will, you would get what? These diseases, man. Read.
which thou was afraid of,
Uh-huh.
and they shall cleave unto thee.
They gonna stick unto you, man. This is why you also look and see that even in the 50s, 40s, and 60s, some of the first people that were given false shots, if you would, I don't want to say the word, right?
Oh yeah.
But that were given, right?
Yeah.
Certain,
jab.
right? So,
Yeah.
exactly. Certain jabs that were given to people in Guatemala, where they were euthanizing people and testing them, right? Same thing happened with our sisters, the Negro sisters, man, with all the different experiments they performed on them, right, for gynecology.
Yeah. Medical experimentation on our
Right,
sisters.
man.
Yeah.
Right. So, but in doing that, they also infected us, man. They were giving us things just like the Tuskegee Airmen, right?
Yep. Yep.
Same thing. Oh,
Tuskegee
we're just giving you this, man. It's all good, and then later on you find out something else is in it, right? But read.
Verse 61.
Uh-huh.
Also, every sickness
read.
and every plague
Uh-huh.
which is not written in this book, so like which is not written in the book of this law,
Uh-huh.
them will the Lord bring upon thee
Uh-huh. Read.
until thou be destroyed.
And let me show you how we're destroyed. Read the next verse.
Verse 62.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall be left few in number.
Few in number, man. Few in number. The northern kingdom is deep as hell.
Yep.
Not to say that the southern kingdom ain't, but I'm
but
saying
it's more. I mean, logically, there's more tribes.
Right.
Than the 10 tribes.
And listen, and I don't
10
know
tribes,
if you've seen around you lately, but usually so-called Hispanic and Latino men and women, they just stand next to each other and get each other pregnant. That's how fertile of a people they are. No, I'm serious.
Nah, that's real.
They're
That's
hella
real.
fertile, man. Right?
God.
They can't. This is also same thing with the Southern Kingdom. That's why you have eugenics, right, and different plans, right? Margaret Sanger, right, put together different plans to wipe us out because we don't typically have that big of a problem with being barren. We usually bear fruit. My brother right here got 6 seeds, man,
God,
and still counting. Right? I hope this brother has 100 kids, right? 100 little children, man, like him. I got 6 myself. And a grandchild, man. That's we deep. We put in work. But go ahead, keep reading.
And ye shall be left few in number. Whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude.
Read.
Because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God.
Why are we chopping each other's heads off? MS-13. Read that again. Why?
Because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right, because the Most High ain't telling us to go and chop each other up, man. But we're doing that. These are part of the curses, and with the curse comes punishment. That's why they're locked up in jail. My point of bringing that up was just to show you the captivity is still going on. Not because they're locked up in jail, but look who's doing it. Yes, the Lord does all these things, right? The heathen is the sword. The wicked is the sword in his hand. He's using these other nations to whoop us. In case I know that y'all know, right?
Yeah,
but we already know that. But the point is what? That the fact is that the oppressor is still being used by the Most High. Where you're in your country, though. El Salvador, it doesn't matter where we're at. The curse is still on us.
And that's so heavy, man, because our people don't really understand that it doesn't matter where we are in this world, because we hear that on the flip side too. Well, if you don't like America, why don't you go back to Africa? They own that. Between China and is it China and Great Britain? Yeah, between China and Great Britain, they own Africa, all Africa. It's nowhere you're gonna go to escape from the colonization that the white man has put upon the world. He has garrisons in every country. He has what we call garrisons.
That's a fact.
A garrison is a military base, literally set up and stationed in other countries. If I'm in a country and I got a military base in your country, what does that say?
Right.
I'm running the show.
Right.
Literally, they got garrisons in
right.
all other countries. You get out of line, America's embassy is right there.
That's right.
They'll make sure that they put you back in line.
That's right.
It don't matter where you go. The so-called Caucasian man owns everything, and this is a fact. Go back, rewind the video, and look up everything that we spit and all the facts we spitting today, and you're gonna see that what we're saying is true.
That's right.
White man is in power of all of that, and the people that he will not let go, blacks and Hispanics.
That's
man.
it, man. The alphabet boys, man, they infiltrate all kind of governments to set up puppet governments to this day, man. They're behind a lot of these wars, man. Right? Of course, on the level of a helicopter bird's eye view, the Most High is doing all that, right? right? He's controlling it.
Absolutely.
Right? The war council in heaven. But the point is that he's still using these heathen, man, because our time is not up yet in captivity. We have a set amount of time, if you would, to be here, right? To be going through. Yahushua comes back, right? We don't know the exact date and time, but we know as time progresses, we're getting closer to that day.
Ezra speaks about that. The balances have to be filled and everything before he even comes back.
Absolutely.
Can I get one? Get Jeremiah 50 real quick.
Bring it out.
Get Jeremiah 50. This is one that I always like to bring out. Jeremiah 50.
And what verse?
And read verse 33. Jeremiah 50 and 33.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
So this is what I always like to ask my so-called Negro lights, right? Whatever that is, because I don't even know what the hell a Negro is. I don't know. We need to probably get into the actual term Negro, because that is a falsified term that was placed upon us. But I forgot that goddamn Caucasian's name. But I'm gonna get it for you.
Talking about Blumenbach?
Blumen, yes. You so-called Negroes got your name from Blumenbach or Blumenbeck, right. Whatever his name is. We're gonna research. We're gonna pull it up for you. It's in another book. I left my other book at home. Actually, it's in Timbuktu, from Babylon and Timbuktu as well.
Now, you know what? You know that the original, if you look at Webster's, the Webster's dictionary, I think it's from 1828. I could be wrong on the year. But the word black doesn't even mean dark. The word black actually etymologically, you know, I'm in the etymology, right? I love to study it. It it's actually Blanco, goes, right? It goes in the French. Blanc in French means white.
No, in French, I said
right. Blanco.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's like
Blanco. So really, even in there, it means to become pale. So I was thinking about that when Black Lives Matter, and you see them pushing it. I'm like, maybe they're talking about them. Maybe they know something we don't know.
We don't know. You know, and the funny thing I always say, right? Like, and we probably gotta talk. Look, we're gonna do many lessons. This is the first of many, most high willing, if it be in his will. But when you ask a so-called Negro light, whatever that is, and you ask them and you say, okay, so all of the Israelites are Negroes. So point to me where the 10 tribes are.
Right.
And Jeremiah says that we were oppressed together.
That's right.
So you got to show me in the scriptures the last time we were oppressed together as a nation outside of Egypt and outside of the book of Judges, if you want to go there. When were we oppressed together? There's no other place. Because if that's the case, when we came over here in slavery, is that a coincidence?
Right.
And who did we meet over here in slavery?
Right.
And show me that with other Negroes in Africa. The white man took us in Africa to other African slaves. Like that, I don't see that in history. The only time I see Jeremiah 50 fulfilled is in the Americas. When we came from our enemies, the so-called Caucasian man. See, that's one thing that y'all can't get around. Prophecy.
That's right.
Prophecy tears you up. You can talk about phenotype. Me and this brother look different, whatever. Prophecy be whooping y'all ass.
That's a fact.
I'm being honest. Prophecy be beating y'all ass, and y'all be running from prophecy.
That's right.
It's only one place that we were oppressed together by our oppressor, and that is in the so-called Americas. You can't get around that. And then if you want to talk about, like, you know, we got to talk about this too a little later, the phenotype and the genotype and all that. If you want to be honest, all black people don't even look the same.
That's a fact.
I look Ethiopian.
Right. We're not homogenous.
I don't look, If you want to be honest, people be thinking I'm Ethiopian.
Right.
They don't think I'm from Nigeria.
And watch this. You brought up a good point. Wasn't the Greeks in Ethiopia and in Egypt for a long time?
Absolutely.
So was there any intermingling going on over there?
Heck of intermingling.
So the Northern Kingdom was in Egypt, right? We were all there. So, right, at different times, you got the Northern Southern Kingdom together, the Northern Kingdom apart, Southern Kingdom for a few in Egypt. So there was intermingling going on, right? Somewhere along the line. So guess what? Are all Egyptians homogenous too? They all look the same color?
No.
Do they all have the same hair texture?
No.
None of these nations do. We just did a class on it showing you that not even Esau has the same. He's not even homogenous.
Different tribes of Esau look different.
That's what I'm saying.
You got the red heads, and then you
Come
got
on
the
now.
blonde heads,
Bring
then you
it
got
out.
the brunette heads,
Bring
and then
it
you got the Russian
Bring it
looking
out.
Edomites, then you got the French looking Edomites. They all look different. They all have different phenotypes in the whole nine, but they're the same nation.
That's it.
Different tribes.
We just did a class, man, just recently. Y'all should check it out, where we showed you historically the wars that happened between the Romans and the Greeks, right? Britain, how those different factions warred with each other, why they went to war with each other. When you really get down to the history of it, they're not exactly the same people, but that doesn't matter because they intermingled. They embezzled each other's culture, man. That's why they hide too. There's a scripture in Jeremiah that talks about how Esau is going to be made bare, but he's hiding in different
among
places.
The nations. Yeah,
yes.
He's trying to mingle his seed to hide among the nations.
And what is he pushing right now? You see on commercials. Or every time I watch a commercial, if there's a man and a woman, it's a white man with a black woman. Always, man.
Always.
He's trying to get them sisters to understand you need to stop dealing with your own men. You know, they're nothing but gangbangers and hustlers and pimps and weed heads. And don't deal with no Mexicans because they're illegal anyways, right? They just want to deal with you for your papers, right? That's all it is. But go ahead, King.
Let me show you something real quick with the hair texture. And I got this. Shout out to my elder on. Let me get this real quick. Luke 7:38. Let me show you something. I love my elder, man. All praises. Look,
shout out to all the elders, man.
Yes, and shout out to and also to may the Most High rest the good dear brother Ariah.
Yup,
rest in peace to good dear brother Ariah. You know, he put a lot of work in for this truth.
Yeah.
And here at BOW, we respect that brother no matter what, you know, happened in the later of his career. We respect all of the work that the elder did and put in, because without the work that he put in, who's to say we will be here? We learned a lot from his work. So
that's a fact.
Shout out to the elder Ariah. May the Most High bless your spirit.
Hallelujah.
Luke 7:38. Let's read that. Watch this.
Luke chapter 7 verse 38. And stood at his feet behind him weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head.
Now, you already know where I'm going. How long was her hair?
Right.
For her to wipe Yahweh Shai's feet with her hair? Now, this ain't no disrespect to none of my different sisters with different textures of hair, because it's all beautiful.
Right.
You know, you got some finer, got some kinkier, got some longer. But this is for the brothers and sisters that be like, look at that Latino woman's hair. How long was this sister's hair that she could wipe? Read it one more time. Read it one more time.
She got that good hair.
Read it one more time.
And stood at his feet behind him weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head.
With the hairs of her head. She began to wipe his feet with the hair that was on her head, meaning she had long hair. Funny thing about it is, people want to judge off of phenotype and hair texture and all of that. It's bull. My little sister Kia, I wish I could pull up a picture of her. Right? Skin is darker than both of ours. Hair long and straight. Long and straight. Right? You can go to other Latino sisters, hair long and straight and pretty. It's just not subject to Latinos, but even so-called dark-skinned sisters. Hair texture does not make you who you are. But the point is, did they not have long hair?
That's right.
It couldn't have, no disrespect, it couldn't have been the little fro. Let me just be honest. I just got to be honest. It couldn't just be mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I was going like this. No, it says she wiped his feet. Read it one more time. And then I'm going to get one more.
And did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment.
Okay, let's go from there. Let me see something. Go to 2 Samuel 18. I'll show you this. Every tribe had different variations, because it's another thing. Fun fact. This is fact when you get into genetics, right? Which you said it earlier. The woman passes on the, what did you say earlier? Genetically? The phenotype. The 12 tribes of Israel had different mothers.
That's right.
All of them had different mothers, so they wouldn't look identical to each other.
Right. Even and some of the and what our foremothers were what Canaanites, right? So there you got the African side. So you pick up phenotypes from your mother, man. So of course we're not gonna look all cookie cut out. Everybody looks the same. Everyone has to have kinky hair. Right, exactly. Get that scripture, matter of fact, in that Hosea, right, with E from the northern kingdom, man.
And then I do want to get that 1 Samuel 18 too. Yeah, I want to really watch this real quick. Get that 1 Samuel 18 and read verse. Let me see, 18 and is it 9? Start at 9.
God. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. Verse 10. And
no, not that one. Let me see. 18 and 9. Let me see. Oh, 2 Samuel. Salakia. I was 2 Samuel. Second Samuel chapter 18, verse 9. Yeah, read that.
2 Samuel chapter 18, verse 9. And Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule went under the thick boughs of a great oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken up between the heaven and the earth.
So when you get into that, it's talking about his hair, because Absalom had what? Long hair. He had long hair. Actually, I want to get how long his hair was. Let me get this real quick. I want to pull this up for them. Absolutely. I want to get how long his hair was. Let me pull it up. Here it is right here. Bear with me, family, because it just came to my mind.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Go to 14 and 26. 2 Samuel 14, 26. Yeah, this is it.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 14 and verse 26.
Yep.
And when he pawed his head.
So this is Absalom, right? It says when he pulled his hair, meaning he gave it a light little trim or combed it, right? Read.
For it was at every year's end that he pulled it, because the hair was heavy on him.
It says the hair was heavy on him. How long was that hair? That it says his hair was heavy on him. It couldn't have been my little fro. It had to be to his back.
God.
Watch this. Can you read it? Read.
Therefore, he pulled it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels.
200 shekels. That's how heavy. How heavy is 200 shekels? Let's look that up. How heavy is 200 shekels? You get it before me, I'll bring it out. Is 200 shekels.
Or is it like pounds?
45
right?
pounds.
How much?
45 pounds.
45 pounds.
45 pounds?
Let me see.
No, I think it's less.
I think it's, wait, hold on. Not 45. I think this one says 5 pounds. Yes.
Yes, like 5 pounds.
This one says 5 pounds. How
That's
heavy
still
is
heavy.
20 shekels? 5 pounds. So 5 pounds will be equivalent to like the ankle weights when you're working out or something like that.
Right.
Put that on your head.
Well, think about it. When sisters go to the what you call it, no, not the salons, the place where they sell the wigs at.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Beauty supplies.
The beauty supply store. You buy horse hair in there, right?
Yeah.
And it comes in the bag, right? So can you imagine but 5 pounds?
5 pounds, right?
Of hair.
So there we go. That's even a better example.
Right.
5 pounds. So go in the weave store for all my sisters that, and no disrespect to sisters that get weaves, right? I'm not against that at all. Go in there and imagine that hair 5 pounds.
Damn.
So how much hair was on his head? So did that brother have fine, long, heavy hair? He had to have had some. It couldn't have been my fro. No disrespect to my brothers. It couldn't have been a Black Power fro.
Right. And know this, just like, and I'm gonna make a quick point, just how you see before the curses, right? We lived longer lives, right? We had, our lives were extended, It wasn't like you were living to be 20 years old, get shot at 15 like we get today, right?
Absolutely.
So watch this. At one point, there was everything beautiful about us. But as we got proud and very prideful about the blessings we did have, we forgot about the Most High who blessed us, right? So watch this. Speaking about hair,
Go ahead.
give me Isaiah 3:17. Give it to me in the Amplified if you can.
Yes, sir.
If you could give that to me, right? We do comparative text
No, that's
analysis
cool. We do
here
too.
and there, but we always do we reference the King James first.
We do
right?
comparative text too. So and look at this. While he's pulling that up, look at what somebody said. Buffalo soldiers got that name because hair was like buffalo hair.
Wow.
So that got to be
Buffalo soldiers gone to America.
And now watch this. Excuse me. I don't want to get nobody. Well, what if it was dreaded or locked or whatever? Listen, and no, I'm not against locks either. But if somebody wants to say, well, could black people hair can get that long if you lock it? Well, here's the thing. It said he pulled it.
Right. right.
Meaning he was combing it and pulling it through.
That's right.
Right. And you know how the little dead hair come out?
Right.
And that's what he's talking about. He was combing through it.
That's right.
And it says 5 pounds of hair.
Dang.
And that's just what he pulled.
And
that's not all of it.
So like you talking about Absalom, right?
Yeah, Absalom.
Absalom was known as like the finest man of his time, look wise.
Yeah. He was fair to look upon.
They said he was fair. They said he was perfect, damn near to look upon. Like females are like, God damn, you see that brother? He got that good hair. Huh?
Yeah, right? He had that nice little.
You know what I'm saying? Who know what he looked like, but he was killing them.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That part.
No, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, Con, bring that up.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 17 in the Amplified.
Read.
Therefore, the Lord will afflict the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
The daughters of Zion, read.
With scabs.
With scabs, and what's going to happen?
Making them bald.
Making them what?
Them bald.
Bald, read.
And the Lord will expose their foreheads, send them into captivity.
Right. See, so what is the baldness for, man? The baldness could be literal, right? Because what do you see with baldness with some of our sisters, right? That's the reason why they have wigs.
That's true.
That's the reason why they get wigs. And let me tell you, unfortunately, some of our men, they'd rather get with any other woman but a so-called Negro woman. And this is stupid because not all Negro women have problems with baldness either.
They don't, like my little sister.
That's what I'm saying.
My little sister, her hair is long and man, I might have to pull up a picture.
Kia, let me
pull up a picture of my little sister.
My rib is a so-called Judite Negro woman, and she got long hair. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We gotta stop using this. Oh, all black women, all Negro women don't have any hair. That's not true. Okay, and I even know a gang of Latino sisters that rock wigs too. Okay, for different reasons, right? So understand that I know black sisters that so-called Negro women, man, that have long hair still wear a wig, right? But the point is sometimes that baldness, right, which is a curse from the Lord, right, it causes a woman to feel demoralized, right? I mean, you tell me, put it in the chat. Some women feel demoralized about being bald, right? And I'm not going to say they shouldn't. I'm not going to say they should. I'm just saying this is in my experience of dealing with women as long as I've been here on earth. And so understand this, that our women, right, sometimes when they have that baldness, right, they'll go to great lengths and spend a lot of money on these wigs, right? Because to them, if I have that wig on, what happens? Then people won't think that my hair is short or bald. They're trying to hide something. What are you trying to hide spiritually? The punishment. Right? But what happens when you go home at night? You got to take the wig off, right? And then it's reminding you, man, just like when a woman has a menstrual period, right? It's reminding her of sin. That's why she has it, right? She needs that cleansing 7 days a month, right? That's why there's a difference in the law with the time of separation when a woman has a boy versus a woman versus a female, right? The time of separation is doubled when she has a female, man. There's a reason for that spiritually. Yeah. Right. But the brother's pulling up that picture.
Now, Kia, you know I love you, sis. I gotta show them you. So don't
She's
be
like,
mad.
Why
at
you
me.
putting me on
she gonna
blast?
Be mad.
Damn it.
Now let me share because I got it. This is a good example. And then I'm also show you her son and tell you why we can't even go off of that either. Right. Now, check this out. This is her right here. Look at her hair. Look at her hair.
See?
Look at her. And not only that, she cut her hair.
Dang.
She cut her hair. Her hair would have been longer than it. She actually cut her hair. She cut her hair. Let me see if I got another one.
You see that? So this is why, again, we can't say,
yo, here she is, right
all
here.
Negro women are bald.
Look at her. This is her hair.
That's right. See?
That's her hair. And mind you, again, she cut it. Let me get one more. That's a video. Look, that's her hair right there. Well, let me give you this one. Hold on. This is her hair when she pressed it. That's her hair.
Wow. See?
That's her hair when she pressed it, when it's not curly.
See?
And look at her skin texture and her skin tone.
Yeah.
Hair does not and texture does now. Now watch this. Now y'all see her, right? This is when she cut her hair. But now look at this. Look at her son. Look at her son's skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. This little Mo. Let me get a good picture.
Beautiful.
There he is right there. Look at her son.
God.
Look how light her son is.
Wow.
That's why you cannot go with skin tone and hair texture. You cannot do. That's my little nephew right there. Look at her. Look at his skin texture. Look at his hair. He got a little curly hair from his mama.
That's a
right.
Fact.
Look at him. Look at him. That's why you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't do that. So black women have long hair too. Black women have long hair, and we can give birth. Black women can give birth to light skin or red bone children.
Absolutely.
You understand? So I just had to show that.
I always use the skin tone I use it as an example with skin tone coffee. Like we're sipping coffee right now, right here. Me, Ratazan, some of the brothers in here, we sipping coffee, right? You notice that when somebody pours you coffee, like the brother asked me when he went to go get coffee a minute, he says, how do you want the coffee? If I would have said, give it to me black, what does that mean? No creamer, right? But is it literally black? Well, why do we say, give it to me black?
That's a good question.
It's not really black, is it? What color is it?
It's brown, isn't it?
Just dark brown, right?
Yeah.
Anybody who drinks coffee, you know coffee is just dark brown. But we say black, meaning the absence of anything in it, right? But as soon as you put some creamer in there, is it now not coffee?
It's still coffee.
It's still coffee.
Now, here's the cold thing about this, though, right? I know you guys just seen my little nephew.
Right.
Her mom and dad are on the darker sides of brown.
See? Still coffee.
And they came and their son came out lighter than both of them, like light bright.
God.
When you look at let me see. I got one because I got a it's a fact, man. Let me see if I got a picture of my wife
and Shalom Ibanga. I see you, King. Hallelujah, man. That's right.
Let me see if I got all praises. Now, this is another reason why you can't. Now, this is my other little sister. And we're gonna talk about skin tone, right? We're gonna talk about. I'm putting them on blast right now. They're gonna be mad, but I'm putting them on blast.
Bring it out.
So this is my other little sister. Look how light she is compared.
Oh, to her. Okay.
Yeah. They are same daddy and mommy.
Wow.
Same daddy and mommy.
See that?
And look at her skin tone mix. You would assume, that she has some mixer in her.
See?
But then you would assume by her hair, how does she has that texture hair?
That's right.
But she's not light skinned like her because we always assume light skin with curlier texture hair.
Right.
That's not always true.
Absolutely.
That's not always true. So you can't. And then if I was to show y'all my wife looks completely different too.
Right.
So the thing about it is,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's my wife. So
that's right.
So that's the point. Like,
that's right.
You can't go with skin tone and hair texture because Israel has all types of skin tone and hair texture. As we shown in the scripture, because we can show David was ruddy.
That's right.
We can show Paul looked like an Egyptian.
That's a fact.
We can show the sister wiped Christ's feet with her hair.
That's a fact.
We can see Absalom's hair was long. We can see different skin tones and different hair textures. And we can even see it now displayed within our people that have the same mama and daddy.
Songs of Solomon too, right?
Songs of Solomon. He was black. Yeah. Come on, man.
So it's we're not homogenous, man. People need to stop thinking that I've even Latino lights that I deal with, right? That they're like Latino only. That's another absurdity. Another absurdity, man. Right? If it's not one thing, it's the other. But when they go that hard to present their case, it just proves that they're back on earth the same way they were before, beefing with each other, man. The northern and southern kingdom been beefing with each other since the sunrise, right? Thinking one is better than the other, man. Right? That's what happened with Jeroboam and Rehoboam, man. Right? So they're back on earth. Still, you got certain people that are the Rehoboam's back on earth, the Jeroboam's back on earth. No, it's Latino only. We fit the curses, y'all don't. No, we fit the curses, y'all don't.
Yeah.
Right? That's all it is, man. Madness. But like the brother said, we both fit the curses, man. And it takes humility for two brothers that these other factions would try to separate to say, we don't give a damn about none of that. We're going to serve the Most High God, whether you have a chart, you believe in the chart or not. We believe in the Most High God and the Son Yahushua enough to thank the Lord, to fear the Most High God, to do that Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, and keep these laws and commandments.
Now, I'm going to show you how cold this unity is, right? Because not only are we unifying in you're so-called brown and I'm so-called black, right? We're also unifying because we don't necessarily share the same ideologies in certain things, but we can still come together and bring one common point, and that's repentance to all of Israel.
Hallelujah.
Under Yahushua and Mashiach.
That's right.
If you respect Yahushua and Mashiach, you know, no matter if we different on different things or not, you respect the Savior. That's cool. When you don't respect the Savior, it's two individuals I can't stand.
Bring it out.
It's, you know, I get passionate with this.
Right.
It's two individuals that I can't stand. You Negroites and you non-Masonic, you brothers that don't believe
Messianic.
in the Messianic. I said Masonic. They might as well join the Mason Lodge, right? You cats that disrespect the Messiah, I can't stand you. And the scripture says, don't even bid you Godspeed.
That's right.
So and it's funny because a lot of times those two are intermingled.
Yeah, they the Pharisees.
Yeah. Normally you will see say it again. Messianic. I always want to say Masonic. Yeah. You normally see those as Negro onlys.
Right.
Normally they are Negro onlys. Right. But it's only two individuals that I can't stand: when you disrespect the Most High and when you disrespect the gathering of the brother.
That's right.
That's two things that I can't stand and I won't tolerate, and I don't care who you are.
That's a fact.
You're not gonna disrespect my brown brothers that are Israelites, and you're not gonna disrespect my Savior. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. And I'm
and vice versa, just so y'all know, right? Because those two things those are non-negotiables. They're non-negotiables. We got to stand on that, on them pillars, man. It's straight. I tell our people all the time, the Southern Kingdom of the list. So you ain't gonna make it in the kingdom without us, and we're not gonna make it in without you. Right. Straight up and down, man. This is another reason why we came together with this mighty brother. Because guess what? The Northern Kingdom, again, one of the problems that we've had in reaching our people is the language barrier.
Yes.
The Northern Kingdom. Their oppressor has taught them Spanish, and there's not as many, I'm not saying there's not at all, but there's not as many so-called Negroes that speak Spanish fluently enough in this truth that could speak to them and bring out this truth and let them know. And unfortunately, both Negroes and Hispanics are so dull-minded when they're not in the truth that guess what happens? If you try to get a dark Jake to preach the word to a lighter skinned Latino, they won't receive it because ingrained in them from the Spaniards, they still see colorism. But if you take a brother that's lighter skinned like me and talk to a Latino brother that's light like me, they'll receive it from me and not from you.
So it's still colorism within the Latino community. Wow.
And this is why I'm trying to tell you, this is why I told this mighty young brother, I'm like, listen, the Most High gave you an increase, right? And those that ascribe to them being Southern Kingdom, what have you, right? Hallelujah. You have done a mighty work. Yahushua is in you and has woke brothers like me up. My elders, General Hashar, AOC, them brothers, right? They've touched me and woke me up back in the day, right? So understand this. We got to pay it forward because there's a language barrier the Ratazan can't cross right now. But I said, guess what? Help us by doing this work with you on your platform where you have a larger audience, because some of you that are part of BOW's fellowship, both internally and externally, right, or just following them online, you have Northern Kingdom family, wives, children, friends, and you can't get them to wake up yet because there's a language barrier. But now you know the 12 stones of Yasha Allah.
Yeah, you go.
And this ain't competition. This is work. Get your hands dirty with us.
There you go.
Come and tap in with us. Throw them folks our way so we could break them down to the smallest compound in Spanish. And I speak Spanish fluently, read and write it. But guess what? My other brothers have been doing the work with me. I'm like, it's time to get your hands dirty. It's time for you to put your brick in. And that's why I reached out to this mighty brother, because he's like, man, you don't understand. The Lord used you. I'm like, hallelujah. But guess what? It ain't about me and you.
Yeah, we got to go get the
we got to get these other fish, man, that nobody's reaching, man, because there's a language, and our people are stubborn as hell, man. Listen, you know that our people are stubborn in English. But let me tell those of you that speak Spanish, Espanol, man, them Mexicans, them Latinos, bruh.
Man.
Woo, let me tell you, man, we stubborn as hell.
God, I know.
Understand that, bro, right? Because some brothers think I'm gonna give me a Latino woman. She gonna cook that arroz con gris. Hey,
let's talk about that. Because a lot of brothers think the 10 tribe sisters be more feminine than I'm telling you.
Listen, the only difference between them, brother, cuss you out in Spanish. They do all. Let me tell you, one thing about is about the Northern Kingdom is we play a lot off of the Southern Kingdom. Yes. We look up to y'all. So what do you these Northern Kingdom women? They watching TV, right? And they get what people say, the angry black woman, right? They look at that and they feel strength in that. When they see it on TV, they find strength in that. So guess what she's doing at home? She's telling Pablo, she's telling Pedro, she's telling Jose, hey, check this out, homie. And they get down, they fight too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look on YouTube and you see all these podcasts, the most ignorant of the women is the blacks and Latino Hispanic
That's
women.
what I'm saying.
So I mean, the curses is hitting us like no other.
Man.
It doesn't matter where you at, the 10 tribe. And let me say something to that. And let me pull one scripture. Let me pull one scripture real quick. I want to pull this. Salakia.
Bring that out, King. Yeah, brothers think that, because you got yourself a Mexican woman, she ain't going to check you. She might be connected to the cartel,
man,
and make ceviche out of you by the morning, right? You don't know who you mess with.
Right. Hey, Psalms 133 and 1. That's the one I want. Yeah, get that one.
This is Psalm chapter 133, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
This is one thing that BOW, as long as the Most High has a spirit on me, we're not about bringing men to ourselves. It's not about me. It's not about my good dear brother. It's not about BOW. It's not about 12 stones. It's about coming together and waking the nation up. So for an example, if these brothers have a heavy 10 tribe influence, and I have brothers that are 10 tribe reaching out to me asking, hey, do you got brothers that speak Spanish, X, Y, Z? I'm not going to be selfish because I don't have necessarily a quote unquote a Spanish category, but since I want to bring those people to me, I'm gonna try to bridge that language barrier because of my pride, and eventually the fruit is gonna fall. No, I'm gonna take them to a brother that can edify him and a brother that can teach him in his native tongue or in the tongue that he needs it to be. Because it's not about bringing men to me, it's not about bringing men to him. It's about coming together. And if we got a 10 tribe camp with a couple of Southern Kingdom in that, cool. And vice versa. We got BOW who got, majority Southern Kingdom right now, but we got some 10 tribes that's like, hey, I want to be down. Cool. But at the end of the day, we all putting in our brick together.
That's it.
And that is why I said my platform, you can use it because it's not really my platform. It's the nation's platform.
Hallelujah.
And it's the Most High's platform.
You see that?
To bring the brothers together.
You see that, man? That's a beautiful thing. Imagine when a race war pops off, we ain't gonna be looking at each other. You know why we're not gonna be looking at each other? Because I'm gonna have my back facing that way. He's gonna have his back. We're gonna be back to back facing each other way, and we're gonna be like this.
There you go.
I got these dudes. You get those.
There you go.
You work together, not against each other, man. That's what these laws, statutes, and commandments teach you, to work together, man. Right, as a nation, right? Yeah, we're in different camps, right? And I can't speak on all the camps any more than this brother can, but we can speak on behalf of our camp right now, and that's this, right? That the reason the camp is instituted, these organizations are there, is to organize and structure and hold accountability. And this is why I tell brothers all the time, camp life ain't for everybody.
No.
We were talking about that before we went live. Some people don't want accountability. They don't want structure. They're individualites.
Yeah, it's a lot of,
and that's how they end up becoming Crippleites, Pyruelites, Serenuelites, Norteñuelites. They got fringes on, but they don't want any man to be over them. That's what they say. Like Yahweh Shai ain't gonna be over you. Is he or not? Is he a man? Is he gonna be lording over you? He is.
Was
man.
there not great men over our people throughout history? Absolutely.
Come on, man. And you got into this truth because men were teaching online and in the streets. Right? The thing is, you just want to pick the fruit. You don't want to help sow seed. You don't want to clear ground. You don't want to be a laborer, man. That's the problem. Come and get your hands dirty with BOW, man. Yeah. Come and get the work in. This brother right here, like I remember teaching him this stuff, and he was a youngster. Now you're how old?
I remember that. Yeah. 30 years old.
30 years old,
30
man.
Years old.
30 years old. Look where he's at now.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was going to be one of a fruit that the Lord had
that's real.
season at one point. And look where he's at
and
now.
That's why I'm so strong, because like I said, a so-called Latino brother was the one that actually was the first one to introduce it to me. So you got to understand, like when I'm coming into this thing, I'm looking at a brown brother teach me this, like, show me this. I think I went to like, how many classes I went to? I went to like 3 or 4 classes. Right. I went to 3 or 4 classes. I never forget. And that's why it was so easy for me to finally grasp the whole thing, because I had already heard it. That's why when I was like, I've been, when it got reintroduced to me again, I was like, I've been hearing this already. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have, at that particular time, I didn't have Deuteronomy 28 at that time yet. I remember, I remember you telling me about the Jews and we going over like lessons, but I didn't quite have until I seen that movie, The Curses. It was a movie out a long time ago, like in 2011, called The Curses. And when I seen that movie, that's when I was like, okay, yeah. I already knew.
Wow.
But that movie, The Curses, Deuteronomy 28, that was when it was like, okay.
That was the wow moment.
That was the why, because it answered the why question for me. Like, I always, bring it down to, you got the when, the what, the where, and the why, right? I didn't have the why of why, God. Why are we doing what we're doing? Right. Why are we going through this? Why?
Right.
Deuteronomy 28 answered the why for me. But I'm going to tell you, that foundation, remember Paul said, one might plant, one might water.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And then it brings an increase.
That's right.
So we got to increase.
Woo.
And so
a mighty increase at that.
Man. And now we together about to do it big for the 10 tribes, for the Southern Kingdom, quote unquote, for everybody to get this knowledge and wisdom and understanding.
Hallelujah, man.
And it's a beautiful thing. About that language thing too, if you read 1 Corinthians 14, the scriptures talks about speaking in tongues in different languages.
Bring that out.
Understand?
And one of the brothers in the chat, I think Rome, the gentleman, he said, "Where are you brothers from?" I'm assuming he's asking us because I think he knows where you guys are at, right? Are you familiar?
I'm not
with
sure.
him?
We can give both.
Okay,
both.
yeah.
So
you're in LA and other states too.
I'm in LA. I don't know. Rome. Where's he at? Here he is. Yeah. So he says, "Where are you brothers from?" He's in San Diego.
Okay.
Do you have any brothers in San Diego?
No, we don't have any brothers in San Diego. We're actually here in the Southwest LA area, and then we do have brothers out in. Actually, we got brothers up north in the Bay. We also got some mighty brothers that are holding down Camp Deep out in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then we have brothers in other states, building up a brother in Kenya and also in the UK, man, as well. Right?
We have brothers up north. We got brothers, of course, SoCal. We in LA. We got brothers in in the South, in certain areas in the South, and Tennessee. We got a brother in Chicago. So we just building right now. So we don't have anybody yet in San Diego, but if you're interested in either or, you could definitely email us at Believers of the Way 144K at gmail.com. I'll make sure I put it in. Believers of the Way. Let me put it in for you. You can email us if you're interested. What your
No, he was saying that if he puts our email in there, YouTube will block it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You have to be like the person that owns the channel.
Oh, I
Maybe you
didn't know
can put
that.
it in there.
Yeah, I'll put both of ours.
Yeah,
in
he'll
there.
put both of our
Yeah.
emails in there. If again, it's for us, it's not about competition at all. We're not minded like
Yeah,
that. It's not about that. It's about putting this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding out there. This truth.
What's your email? My bad.
Put it. It's Yawahanan. So YAWA.
Dang, you know what? Hold on. Let me. Y.
Yeah, YA.
Is it capital Y or doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
YAWACHA.
NAN 125 at gmail.com. Right. So y'all can hit us up there if you want to get some action. And listen, I got brothers that live from other states, from Vegas, from up north, that are 8 hours away, that then took a bus down just to come and prove themselves week in and week out, man, just to prove that they want to do this work for the Most High God. And we had to do that to vet them, man, to make sure that they are who they say they are and they're really about the Most High's business. So don't let how far you live stop you from doing the work. If it means that much to you, you'll do whatever it takes, and you'll get here. I had brothers that would come out from Vegas twice a month. And I said, you got to do that just to prove to me that you're gonna do the work. Because if you're willing to waste gas and time and mileage to come way out here to do the work with me, then I know when I set you loose in Vegas that you're gonna do the work. And guess what? They've never stopped because of what we put them through, man. That's we set the bar real high, and if you can reach it, we want you.
So that I put both emails there, and I put it on the screen. So if anybody wants to get in touch with Believers of the Way, or anybody want to get in touch with 12 Stones, you have both the emails there, and wherever your spirit is leading you, that's where you go. I tell people all the time, it's not about bringing anybody to me personally or my organization. We bringing people to Christ. And let me show y'all that in the scriptures real quick.
Yeah, while you grabbing that,
go ahead.
Understand this. What he said is so powerful. We're not bringing you to us. Our camp is here to structure you and to help you get to Christ. Help you get to the kingdom, man. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's getting you to be used to being accountable to the law, statutes, and commandments, and submitting one to another, man, like the Bible says to do, right? That's what we're supposed to do. You could be out there alone and be a one-man gang all you want, right? But nobody's holding you accountable. If you decide not to do the work tomorrow, it's like, okay, I don't feel like doing it. I'm just going to chill today. You'll never do the work. Because there's no one there on your neck. There's no one telling you, hey, bro. There's no one rebuking you and correcting you. There's nobody encouraging you. There's nobody that's bigging you up because you did a great job, man. We do that. Yeah. We build brothers and sisters up every day. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's trying.
But we got to do it because we love our people. Watch this. This is one I always go to in John chapter 3, verse 26. Let's read that real quick.
Bring it out.
This is a powerful one. I like this one.
This is John chapter 3 and verse 26. And they came unto John and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was with thee beyond Jordan, to whom thou bearest witness, behold, the same baptizeth, and all men come to him.
So they went to John. Who is he talking about? They talking about Yahweh Shai. John's disciples went to John and was like, hey, man, that dude Christ that you baptized, everybody's starting to follow him now. Everybody's following him now, Rabbi. They leaving us and they following him, right? What did John say? Read
verse 27. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven.
That's powerful. A man can receive nothing except it be given to him by what?
From heaven.
From heaven. So what does that mean? It's not about trying to bring everybody to me. I'm only going to get what God has already got stored for me to get.
Man.
That brother can get only what God got in store. So when you have that understanding, you can rest and be at ease that it ain't about numbers. It ain't about bringing nobody to me. Whatever God has already given to me, it's mine.
That's his lot.
That's my lot. That's fine. And I understand that. And John understood that. That's why John said, what you tripping about?
Right.
Whatever I had as an increase, that was what heaven gave to me.
That's it.
And that's it. That's all that matters. And watch what John say. Watch the humility in John. Read.
Verse 28. Ye yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but that I am sent before him.
You see that? He says, I am not the Christ. I am sent before him. I'm not as eloquent in Spanish.
God.
You know what I'm saying? This brother is. So it might be some 10 tribe brothers that only could speak Spanish, and that barrier that I can't reach, this brother can reach.
That's a fact.
You understand? So I can't be so selfish as to say, I don't want this, but no. Because heaven is going to give me and him and whoever's doing the work.
God.
That's why I always tell people, no matter if you're doing this work out there, I don't care if it's 10 people watching your videos or 1,000. Just do the work.
That's it.
Whatever God gives you, that's what he gives you.
That's it.
We're not doing this. This is not a popularity contest.
Right.
This is about the work of the Lord. And whatever you have, you sow that and you water it and you thank the Most High. So if you got 3 people that taking an ear to you, take those 3 people and teach them. And then guess what? Those 3 people might turn into 6, but they might not come under you. They might go to another faction. You know how many people that we talk to, minister to on a daily basis that might not join BOW, but they might hear the word and then go join another camp? All praises. It's not about that. It's about coming together. And this is why this is so powerful, because not only are we black and brown coming together, we different camps coming together in terms of getting our people. Watch this. Read verse 30.
Verse 30. He must increase, but I must decrease.
See that? And John wasn't tripping off of that, because a lot of times people fear that because they're insecure in themselves. I'm not insecure in myself.
Damn.
And I know this brother not insecure in himself. What I am and who I am, the Most High has given that to me, and no man can take that unless I give it away freely, or unless the Lord decides to take it away, God forbid. So you can't be so insecure. Brothers are insecure when it comes to that. You understand?
I'm mad that you ain't doing in class with us. That's not right.
Right.
That's not righteous. If the Lord wills, it's going to happen. If the Lord wills it not, it's not going to happen, man. Give me Mark 9 and 40 real quick, man. Right? Because see, this is why me and this brother could get together, right? And understand, I'm believers of the way.
Facts.
Right? I just don't have the shirt yet, right? But he's 12 stones. He just don't have the shirt yet, man. But it doesn't matter, because we're Yasha Allah. The camps are there just locally to teach you and structure you, man, in the ways of the Lord. That's what it's about, man. Right? Camp life should be for every Israelite. Unfortunately, again, our people are not used to structure. They're not used to being on time. They're not used to keeping their word. That's a problem with us. But you know what? Hey, sometimes you can't go too hard. People can't even keep the Lord's word.
That's real.
If you can't keep the Lord's word, you know you ain't gonna keep your own, right?
Right.
But go ahead, Mark 9 and 40.
Mark chapter 9, verse 40.
Read.
For he that is not against us,
He that is what?
Is not against us.
Because this brother's not against us, right? He's not against us. Read.
Is on our part.
You see that? I'm not against him. So what is Christ saying here? If you're not against me, then you're with me. Right? Because we're about Yahweh Shai. We're about Yahweh. That's what we're about. We're about all 12 tribes. Not 3, not 2, not 10, not 1. We're about the nation, man.
The nation, absolutely.
Again, so I don't give a damn if I got to take this brother out and you got to handle this one, but we just got to work it, man.
There you go.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to get dirty together, man. Some will do the heavy lifting. Some going to do some of the lower lifting, man. It is what it is. But lift we will.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and that's why we definitely gonna come together, because it's so much more too in terms of like with our Latino brothers and sisters. I know we gotta bring out, I know we brought out a lot of the curses and phenotypes and things of that nature. We got to bring out the historical evidence of the natives keeping fringes, new moons, right? Things of that nature.
Let me show y'all something, man, if I can.
Bring
Watch
that out.
this. This book right here, I got it not too long ago. We've got a bunch of books, right? But check this out, man. Check out this book. I don't know if y'all can see this maybe on the camera right here, right?
What is the title of it?
It's entitled The Book of the Gods and Rites of the Ancient Calendar. It's by Fray Diego Duran. I had brothers in the camp go buy this. You can find it online. It's about $400. I've seen some of these books for $800.
That means that's a book you need to get.
Right. You might find it right now, maybe a used one like this, maybe for about $200, maybe $189, somewhere around that mark. If it's cheaper than that, pick it up, right? But anyways, this book right here, man, I haven't even finished reading it, but I got a bunch of notes in there because it goes into historical evidence of the Aztecs, the Mayans, and the Incas, man. And it's not written from the perspective of somebody trying to prove that the native indigenous people are Israelites. So it's not biased in any way. On the contrary, it's just bringing out evidence that the Bible supports and that we teach from, showing how many of the similarities you have between these native indigenous people, the Aztecs, the Mexica, the Incas, the Mayans, right, the Taino Indians, with Israelite customs, even down to the priesthood that they kept, man. The priesthood that the Mayans and the Aztecs and Incas kept. And the priesthood was damn near identical and so much unlike what other nations had in their cultures, proving again that these people, this dude, Fray Diego Duran, he said undoubtedly these are Israelites. They're the lost tribes of the nation of Israel. Have to be. Huh? Oh, what's the name of the book? The name of the book is The Book of the Gods and Rites of the Ancient Calendar.
Type it in the chat.
Yeah,
too,
we'll put it in there, man. It's by Fray Diego Duran. Let me see if I could get a quick little excerpt about it, right? But this is crazy, man. And this is written by this Fray Diego Duran. Took a compilation of different conquistadors and conversations they had with the ancients, some of the elders from the Incas, Aztecs, and Mayans, right? And one of them said, watch this. It talks about Topitzin had touched the sea with his rod, and the waters had parted, allowing his persecuted people to pass through the gap unharmed while their pursuers were drowned. It says, both Jews and Aztecs have been fed on their pilgrimage by manna from heaven. The Aztecs, they have a historical, background and a story, an account where they were fed with manna from heaven. It says, on occasion when the Aztecs prayed, they lifted their eyes fervently to the image of a bird placed on top of a pole, much as the sons of Israel had worshipped a serpent set upon a pole during their wanderings in the wilderness. It says the food regulations in the Aztec temple reminded Duran of the priestly customs mentioned in Leviticus. And it just goes on and on and on. And it's just showing you so many that they had purification rituals that were identical to the laws in Leviticus. When they did sacrifices, they had to be unblemished animals. Okay, they had people that carried an ark when they went to war.
Wow, yeah, I'm gonna need that book.
Okay, this book is, I mean, it's so crazy. And this guy said that they would tell him stories that were match identical with the gospel.
Wow.
Okay, and guess what? When the guy said, "Can you show us this book, right, that you have?" They said it was taken from us.
Wow.
We don't have the records of it anymore, but they orally could pass it down and teach it.
Oral tradition.
And they said that the funny thing is that the Spaniards were like, everything we're trying to teach them, they already know. They already know it. They're looking at us like, what the hell are you talking about? They're finishing the sentence for them. You got to get this book, man. You got to get this book. That's right.
Hey, I got to get that. I got to get that.
Right?
I gotta get that.
Oh, another thing.
Go ahead. Yeah,
going back to Aslan, where we talking about Aslan before, right? And how $15 million. I forgot to mention when that $15 million was paid, the U.S. got Arizona, California, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, Texas, and Colorado with the deal. And last time I looked, any of those places we mentioned, where you have so-called Mexicans, Aztecs, right? You're still considered an illegal alien there today, right? When imagine you sell a house, okay, it's not your house anymore, but people shouldn't treat you like you never owned that land before. You You see, the changing of the guard, man, is crazy. Understand that. Also, did you know that the first president of Mexico was a so-called Negro?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Vincent Guerrero.
Did not know that.
Vicente Guerrero, better yet, right? He was a Spanish general from Mexico who led the Mexican Revolution against Spain. He then became the first black president in Mexico in 1892. He abolished slavery in Mexico. Why wouldn't he, right? When what he ended up, you know, he's a Negro. Understand that, man. There's also we have a whole class we did. I mean, it would take us hours to do it here, right on this platform.
Luis de Torres. Look him up too. Look up to him too. Luis de Torres. He was a Jewish explorer and interpreter, and he actually, when he traveled over into the New World, quote unquote, he was astonished to see so many Native American practices and customs linked to being Jewish. All right, look him up too. Luis de Torres. All right, Luis de Torres. So Luis Detorres. Luis de Torres. All right.
Look that up.
Yeah, he was an explorer, and he was a Jewish, so-called Jewish, and he traveled over to the Americas, and he was astonished with what he found. He found that they had the same customs, from fringes to new moons, the whole nine. The whole nine. So check him out too.
There's also a in the Mayans have what was called the Mayan Popol Vuh. The Mayan Popol Vuh. In this book, right, that the Mayans kept, they talk about the parting of dry land for them to cross over, exactly identical with Exodus 14:6, right? They also have the story of Tulan. Tulan is the Tower of Babel, literally. The flood story is also found in the Mayan Popol Vuh. Mayans were found in Florida and were discovered by the Spanish in the 1500s.
Wow.
Matter of fact, the word Miami comes from them.
Wow.
When you go to they found temples in the Chattahoochee, Atlanta, Georgia mountains with a bunch of Mayan temples over there right now. This was just found in the 2014. Look it up. Chattahoochee mountains. They found a bunch of Mayan temples, and how they know undoubtedly they're Mayan temples is because they found a specific blue ink or dye there in those mountains that's only found in one other place in the entire earth, and that is in Central America. With the Mayan temples. That's how they linked it to them. So the Mayans were here? Absolutely. Because where you find the Mayans, you find the Aztecs. Right? That's right, man. Okay, so they were discovered there. There's also inscriptions found, the Lamont star, right, which is found, it comes from the Assyrian star, and that's found on a lot of the Mayans, Aztecs, Incas, and that Lamont star comes from the Assyrian captivity. You also have it found on the native indigenous people here, the so-called Seminoles, the so-called, Native American Indians, man. They had that star on them. So you pick up a lot of these things sometimes from captivity, right? You also have the story of Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl,
right? Quetzalcoatl, right?
Yeah. That's if you guys don't know, that's what the story is based off of, the Black Panther and all that.
That's right, exactly. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Actually, in that movie, he called himself Kukulkan, right?
Yep, Kukulkan, yeah.
Kukulkan. Well, did you know that Kukulkan and Kukumats, right? Kukulkan is the Mayan deity. He's called the feathered serpent lawgiver.
Wow.
That's what it means. But he's also called God. Ooh, Christians think Jesus is God, right? But watch this. So in the Hebrew, Proto-Paleo Hebrew, how you say Kukulkan, which means, remember, Kukulkan means the lawgiver or feathered serpent lawgiver. How you say it in the Hebrew is Hakwak al Kahan, which sounds close to Kukulkan.
What is the Hebrew word for priest?
Kahan.
Kahan.
That's what I'm saying. You feel me? Crazy.
Wow.
You also have the fact that with the Mayans, they said that Kukulkan, it was spoken that he would dip his bones in his blood to resurrect his people. Isn't that Romans 5:9?
Same narrative. You might want to bring out Romans 5
Get
and
Romans
9.
5 and 9, and one of you hold Ezekiel 37 and 11, man.
Go ahead, teach out.
It says he
out.
dipped his bones in his blood to resurrect his people. This is what they believed, what they said Kukulkan prophesied is doing, man.
Romans chapter 5, verse 9.
Bring it out.
Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him.
Right. So who was his blood shed for? His people, man. So being now justified by his blood, and that's what they said Kukulkan was gonna do. He was gonna dip his bones in his blood to resurrect his people. Give me Ezekiel 37:11.
God, this is Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
Ooh-wee. He said, read it again. The what?
These bones.
These what?
These bones.
These bones
are the whole house of Israel.
They're the whole house of Israel. That's why Kukulkan said he would dip his bones, which is for his people, right, in his blood to resurrect his people. Right? Here's another one. Kukulkan said that he would not accept the destructions of his people. Give me Matthew 1 and 21. Right. Let's find
stuff,
out,
y'all. My 10 tribe brothers, man, heavy stuff. It's a lot more too. I'm letting them rock.
We're just giving you a little. We're just giving you little teasers.
Dipping the pinky in it because I got so much too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let the
after this. I'm gonna let you take it.
No. I want you to get because I already did a video.
Oh, you did?
I already did a video on the 10 tribes like a while back. Go ahead. We're gonna do another part two too.
Go ahead, King.
Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Read.
For he shall save his people.
His what?
His people.
His people from what?
From their sins.
Right, because sin destroys you, right? Destroys you, right? The wages of sin is what? Death. Death is destruction, man. Kukulkan said he would not accept the destruction of his people. He would save them from that destruction. You see what I mean? This is line for line what Kukulkan represents to the Mayans, man. Kukulkan, that feathered serpent lawgiver. Isn't Yahushua called the seraphim?
The seraphim.
Right? Here's another one. It also says that Kukulkan said that he would reopen their eyes to see the sun. That he would open his people's eyes to see the sun. Give me Malachi 4 and 2. And then hold Luke 4 and 17.
A direct correlation. Their culture is a direct correlation. Now, let me just say this. Understand that our people still were heavy in idolatry and going
Absolutely.
on. Because even when you get to the Southern Kingdom, we had similar customs in West Africa.
Yep.
Leading to the same what he's going through, leading back to the Israelites. But we also had idolatry mixed in and infused with it too.
Absolutely.
The same way. So our people knew and had their oral traditions, but they just mixed in and infused wickedness with it.
Right. Just like Christianity.
Just like Christianity. So just like the natives was over here doing that, it was over in West Africa doing the same thing.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Go ahead. What was it? Malachi 4 and 2.
Malachi chapter 4, verse 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son.
The what?
The Son.
And how's that spelled?
S-U-N.
S-U-N. Read.
Of righteousness. Arise with healing in his wings.
In his wings, man. And the scripture, I believe in Psalms, it says that God is a son. He's a shield unto us, man. Right? Now, is that to be taken literal? No, but the Northern Kingdom did. They started worshiping the sun, like the brother said.
They went off.
Worshiping creations more than worshiping nature and animals. Everything the Lord said not to do, he told us not to do it because there was the potential, the probability, the propensity to do it. And guess what? We did it. The Lord didn't never give us a law because you weren't doing it or never would. He gave it to you because you were either already doing it, other nations were doing it, and he didn't want you to do it. Khan? Go ahead, Luke 4 and 17.
I'll get it. Luke chapter 4, verse 17.
Read.
And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found a place where it was written,
read.
the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives,
Read.
and recovering of sight.
The recovering of what?
Of sight.
Now hold that right there. Remember, Kukulkan said that he would reopen their eyes to see the sun. We already showed you that the sun is used in scriptures sometimes synonymously with the Most High. We open their eyes to see the sun, the Most High. And he says that Isaiah 61:1, which Yahushua is preaching from, right? Which he's saying that this day, this scripture is fulfilled. He says that he would recover the recovering of what?
Of the sight to the blind.
To the blind.
To set at liberty them that are bruised.
That are bruised, man. So Kukulkan, the legend of Kukulkan, we say legend because that's what they said, Kukulkan, the belief of it goes line in line, most of it, if not all of it, with whom we call Yahushua.
And that's also prophecy too, when you get into Isaiah, because our people had a understanding, but we perverted the understanding.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what we did in Africa too.
Absolutely.
Right? Go to Isaiah real quick. I want to get, because that's also a curse and a prophecy.
Yeah.
Watch this, specifically dealing with new moons and stuff like that. Isaiah 1, and start at verse 13.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 13. Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even a solemn meeting.
See what the Christians would do with no understanding. See, God don't want us to do that no more. That's not what he's saying. On these days, these high holy days, we were doing wickedness. So instead of doing the worship of what the Most High wanted us to do, we was worshiping other gods.
Absolutely.
And infusing that with the commandments. So the Native Americans, when they had their new moon celebrations, when they had all their Sabbath and their celebrations that they had, yeah, that's according to the scriptures, but they added in paganism. You see, that's why the Most High said, do away with it. Because I don't want to, y'all polluting my days.
That's right.
Watch this. Keep reading.
Verse 14. Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them.
And you know what our Aztec and Mayans brothers and sisters used to do? Sacrifice human flesh.
That's right.
Unto the gods that they thought.
That's right.
Made idols to themselves. Right. Infused a little bit of the truth of the oral traditions of what our forefathers had and put in wickedness with it.
That's right.
That's why the Most High God said, do away with it. I don't want it anymore. They went off. You understand? We all went off, and this is why we have to go into captivity. You understand? We might have to do we're gonna have to do a part 2.
Absolutely, man.
Because I don't even think we even brought we're gonna save it for part 2. We're gonna save it for part 2. Let's do this. Put ones in the chat if you want us to come back for a part 2.
Yeah, put a 1 in the chat, man.
Put a 1 in the chat.
Part 2.
We've been
part
going for about 2.
For those you speak Spanish.
We've been going for about 2 hours. You know, normally the elder being here for 3 hours.
Yeah, but we go about 2.5, sometimes 3.
Yeah, sometimes 3.
Right.
Put 1. Okay, got to cut. Look at that. 1. Somebody put 1. All praises. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah,
all praises.
man.
All praises. All praises. Khan. Yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that, man. Yeah, the people have spoken, huh?
Khan, hey, thou sayest. You put a 1 in there, that means you want some more work, man. But we give all praise, honor, and glory, man. Kal halalyum la Yahweh b'Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, man, for this evening, for these powerful brothers, man, that were humble enough, meek enough, right, willing enough to say, come on our platform, man, and come and get this work, man, for the northern kingdom, for the southern kingdom, so they can see unity on a whole nother level, man, right? Because our camps are really one and the same, man. They're different names, but both of those names are found in scriptures. Believers of the way, that's the scriptures. D12 stones, that's the scriptures. We're the children of Yasha Allah, man. Them 12 tribes, man, the chosen people of God. This is how it looks, and this is how it's going to look, man, in the heavenly realm, man. This is how it's going to look in the kingdom.
It's beautiful. Somebody said they had a question. We could take that question. Enoch, what is your question, King? Somebody said they had a question. What is your question? Before we close out, take a question. if you have any. I know I see,
Ooh,
questions.
Hadasai says she ordered the book of the gods and rights. Hallelujah. Yeah, man.
She
Get
did.
that sister a hand.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be taking that from you, Sister Hadessa. So yeah, just bring it to class on Friday. Bring it to class on Friday. I'll be taking that. I'll be taking that from you. Matter of fact, that'll make a good Purim gift. Sister Hadessa, that'll make a good Purim gift for me.
That's right.
Nah, I'm messing with her.
Oh, you put the question in.
Oh, he did. Okay. What is your view about the Bad City Latino Council members talking bad things about Black people? Oh, that's easy. I'll let you tackle that first. So I guess, what is the view, I guess, of Latinos talking bad about Blacks?
I mean, me personally, man, I gotta go with what the scripture says, man. Right? It's hatred. It's hatred. So we don't stand for hatred. We don't condone the hatred between Blacks, Hispanics, and Latinos at all, or Native Indigenous people, man. If they're speaking bad about it, they're speaking bad about it, and we're going to stand against it. It is what it is. We're going to stand against wickedness. Give a damn what tribe you're from.
Yeah, we're going to stand against Black people talking bad about Latino
That's
people.
it,
We're
man.
going to stand against all of it.
We're going to stand against Latino people talking bad about Latino people, and Christ.
There you go.
The
Black
laws
people talking bad about
right?
Black people. God.
That's our view, man. We don't have opinions about nothing. Our opinion is founded on what the scripture says to do concerning whatever. We see things through, we study, right? And we pray and we fast so that we could see things through the lens of the Most High God and through Christ, not our own eyes, because that's how you lean to your your own understanding, man.
Yep.
Right. So we stand against that. That's what it is.
Can we get one scripture on that too? Isaiah 11 and 13.
Bring it out.
And this is the prophecy, right? What's that read?
Isaiah chapter 11 verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart.
So the envy, the jealousy, the hatred against the northern kingdom, which is Ephraim, is the head of the northern kingdom, says will depart. You see it happening. You see it happening. Watch this, read.
And the adversaries of Judah.
And the adversaries, meaning the northern kingdom that is against the Latinos, against the Blacks, and the Blacks against the Latinos, the northern kingdom against the southern kingdom. Read.
Of Judah shall be cut off.
Ephraim
shall not envy Judah.
See, and Ephraim, don't the 10 tribes of Latinos be Ephraim and be mad at Blacks and Judah and all that? Says that's gonna what? Read.
And Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
And we not gonna vex Ephraim no more. No more black and brown fighting. That's the main thing that the white man is scared of. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now.
Hey, listen. I want to do something.
Yeah,
watch this. Because this brother's younger than me, Mike.
I am.
But watch this.
I don't look it. You look pretty young.
I'm gonna show you this, man. Watch this. I want y'all to see this, man. You might have to take a screenshot of what we're about to do.
Oh man, yeah. Put there you go. Look. My brother.
Right. You seeing it right there, man. You seeing it right there. All right. When you see this, if we take a picture tonight and post it on IG, y'all repost this, man. And show them what it look like. Yeah. And show them what it look like.
Y'all see that? We got talking to the mic. Yeah, say it again.
Show them. Look, when we post this on Instagram tonight, I want y'all to repost this, man, and show them what it looked like, man. So you can see what it is, okay? This is what it looks like in the kingdom, man. Hallelujah. Understand that, man. B-O-W, the 12 stones of Yasa Allah. Kahalayam la Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahweh.
It's my brother right here. Nah, for real, man. Clap it up. And that's how it's always gonna be. You understand? That's how it's gonna be. Us camps gonna come together. The 10 tribe in the northern southern kingdom is gonna come together and love. And I might make that the picture.
There you go. Yeah, man. Look, some people already said it right here. Look, he said I put the
I got a picture. Yeah.
He said I got a picture of it. It's still on my phone. See?
Yeah, man. Hey, look,
man.
We're gonna be back for a part 2 for sure. These my brothers. Also, Sister Hadessa, I know you didn't pick me for Purim, but that's okay. You could be a little bit more extra charitable. Just go ahead and buy me a copy of that book. Buy the last, because she said it's only one more for $100.
Only one more left?
So you buy that for me.
Somebody better grab that, man.
Oh, shoot, I probably shouldn't have said it. Dang, now the whole chat.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got Sister Hadessa. She gonna give me hers, man. She gonna give me hers. Nah, I'm playing. But nah, this is love. We definitely gonna be back. Next time for part 2, we'll get more into the archaeology. Like, because it's so much more archaeology we could have poured
a
out
fact.
today.
Yep.
So we'll hold on to that. We're gonna get into the archaeology, get into all of that, you know, some more prophecy, and we'll be back. So stay tuned, Israel. We love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful night. Enjoy your Purim and Nicanor this weekend if you're keeping it with us, and we'll see you guys on the next time. Most High and Christ bless, and Most High willing. Shalom, family. Yes,
Shalom,
sir.
shalom.
Shalom.